now, but you give yourself something to build off of instead of relying on, you're at the roulette table just hoping you hit 17 every single spin.
Yeah, it's a good analogy, and we'll see what it looks like. ZB sliding in here. We're talking about Prime and his recruiting class and just the lack thereof. And I actually mentioned it to Cecil before he left of like, if you're CU and you're Rick George and you're about to give him a $10 million a year contract, how come there were no clauses in there of you have to do this? Hey, you want this $10 million a year? Make 3 trips during the offseason for us.
My guess, Josh, would be that CU's not in a position to give musts or have to.
There's no leverage
in that situation. There's no leverage. They know, just like Prime knows, with what he brings to the table, what's needed and what can be asked for. That's why they can't really divorce from him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's I think this thing is going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
It's a severe miscalculation from Deion Sanders. The shine is off, okay? You're not recruiting the kids' parents, right, who grew up watching you. You're recruiting a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old kid. And here's the problem. Deion, and there's a lot of problems, but one of the problems is Deion should have been recruiting the high school level in previous years. He hasn't. Those kids would now be a junior for Deion in his a third and soon to be fourth year, right? Those kids would be sophomores, juniors, and in some case seniors. But when you don't do that and you shun the high school recruiting and you don't organically develop, here you are now in a must-win season. So like, he almost has to double down on the portal because you need production and you need it now. Yep. Your fan base and alumni base is not going to be willing to be patient when you're paying him like a national champion. He's got one winning season, and they're paying him like a national champion. So you see Joey McGuire down there at Texas Tech. He gets a new deal. He's got his football team in the college football playoff, and his deal's $7 million. Deion's is over 10. And it's just like, so you have like severe miscalculation from the university, and you're now losing money in a major way. You're about to suffer the biggest deficit in the history of the athletic department. You don't have any organic talent that is ready to pop as a sophomore, junior, or senior. So, like, he has to get it right in the portal. And the problem is there's 2 types of kids in the portal, and you guys may have covered this. There's 2 types of kids in the portal. The kids who have absolutely killed it, who are looking for a bag, or kids that don't play and are looking for a home. Deion and CU don't have a bag to give. So now you're trying
and
to...
their home's kind of messy, to be frank.
and so now you're recruiting the secondary player comparatively to your competition. And look, I just think I've been very critical of Deion, of how he carries himself. He just rubs me the wrong way and has for a few years now. But the real criticism is how he's ran that football program, because you haven't done it the right way. There's only one coach in the country who doesn't go on the road and recruit, and you're him, and you have one winning season.
And I would actually lean on you for a little bit of this. We've never played college athletics, Richie, but I've hooped with the same guys for 2 decades, and even on my weekend warrior level, I don't want to let down my guys. How long did you play with your college basketball teammates? How long did you guys hoop together?
Like outside of school?
No, yeah, just like your crew played ball together for how many years?
That's a great question. Probably like 8, like 3 years at the school that I ended up at, the 4-year that I ended up with, and then another probably 5 years after that.
So you guys are tight, right? There's some chemistry there.
Definitely. Oh yeah.
Think about like you're Jordan Seaton, and Jordan Seaton's going to be a top draft pick next year. He's really good, but you get all these transfer portal guys coming next to you, and I'm like, for 3 years, and then my junior year, if I'm eligible to go to the NFL, I'm like, I want to play for Zach. I want to play for Richie. You get this new guy coming to work, and it's a turnstile of the position next to you.
I work for me. That's what it becomes. I work for me.
Right, exactly. You're doing everything for yourself. And, man, I hate to give him the credit, but I love what he said about Draymond Green. Draymond Green was recently asked about Oklahoma City, if they can go all the way. And he said, well, they have a couple things that you have to have. The first is love. They love each other.
Yep.
I think that goes to all walks of life. Whatever you do for work, if you don't like the person next to you, you guys aren't going to be a good team. You're going to fail at whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. With the Buffalo's approach to things, new guy, like you said, playing selfishly, why do I give a damn about the guy next to me? Because there's going to be a new guy there next year, so I don't have any continuity. I'm doing everything for me.
And that is compounded by one of the more frustrating things from my vantage point, that's gone on with the Coach Prime tenure, which is just the absolute erosion and lack of attention in any capacity to the pride and tradition of the Colorado Buffaloes, to the ethos of being at the University of Colorado. It has, a standard that it had at once, and it fell off, but they have the traditions, and they have that, and it kind of became, once Coach Prime set foot up in the Flatirons, of, no, this is my show now. I don't really care what was on before, but it's, I'm bringing my luggage, and it's Louis, and it's this, and y'all better hit the road, and that's fine. But then you sit in front of a microphone, and you say, well, I've never been a part of a team that had an identity. Or
no, he said, I don't believe in identity.
I don't believe in identities. He said, I've never been a part of a team that felt like it was important to have that. And I was like, okay, those Cowboys teams seem to have a pretty established ones. You played on some good 49ers teams that I think knew what they were about. And you look at the best college football programs in the country that are whooping ass every Saturday, they kind of know what they're doing and what they're about. So I guess, again, it's the exception to the rule and being kind of boastful or boisterous about it.
If Deion had some of these perks that he has that were earned, I wouldn't say anything. I mean, of course, that would be winning, and winning masks everything. But, like, if you told me Nick Saban came back, but he had this deal in his contract where he's not going to travel and he doesn't handle any of the NIL stuff, somebody else does that, I'd go, yeah, he's Nick Saban. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders does not have that cachet.
No, he doesn't. I don't know what Deion has. He is totally.
He's got a lot of money and a loud mouth.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. But his time, I saw the look on his face in that final press conference after that final loss, and there was a real look of mortality on his face. That like unbridled confidence that he has, been dripping swag for a few years. Like there's
too blessed to be stressed.
There's not anything dripping. The only thing that's dripping is sweat. Because he's going to have a new boss here that didn't hire him, which is so critical. And so, like, you just look. I'm repeating myself from recent months because I have really disliked so much of the stuff that has gone on. But I have never, ever, ever, ever heard a coach, especially a football coach, but any coach, say, "I don't believe in culture. Give me talent." That's one of the most wild things to say. I've also never heard a football coach say, I don't believe from building a football team from the inside out. I build from the outside in. Never heard that. I've also never heard a college football coach say into a microphone, I got nicknames for everyone because I don't know everyone's name. That was this season.
Mm-hmm.
That was this season. And then here's, there's other stuff that bothers me about him with the way that he is so forward-facing with his faith, but then how he actually acts. Mm-hmm. It's like so contradictory to the hallmarks of Christianity, humility and grace and all that stuff. Your first win ever, you were screaming in people's faces, right?
Well, that's he does
Ed Werder.
He does a BBL reference, but he's Mr. Christian.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he after Shannon Sharp's phone was left on recording with that woman, he went on the podcast and pretended to speak in tongues. It's like, dude, that's the definition of sacrilegious with the content that you're reacting to, but how you're doing it. So there's a million things. But I'll tell you what, he did something this past week that definitely made this list as well. It was not this past week, but 2 weeks ago. He was asked by Brian Howell. You guys see this? Who's been covering the program as long as anyone?
Crapped on Brian.
Yeah.
And Brian asked about a linebacker. Yeah, he asked about a linebacker, and he said, hey, this kid's been playing well. It was a softball. He was trying to get Deion to
which is all he allows you to throw him half the time.
He's trying to get him a softball so Brian could write about the kid that he was asking about, right?
Just need a quote.
And Deion basically, yes, he dumped on Brian Howell, but he dumped on his own kid. He dumped on his own kid in real time. So he's being asked about, and we'll play it for you here because I sent it to Dante. I wanted to get to it at some point, but he's asked about it. And he says, like laughing to the idea that one of his players is playing well. Mm-hmm. And he turns around and he's got one of his right-hand men up there behind him to make eye contact, and they start laughing together.
That's a shame on those guys, too.
That kid committed to come and play for you. Like you're supposed to be this leader of men, and you're up on stage and you're laughing at a question about a player that's playing well or being interpreted of playing well, and you couldn't even play along.
And by the way, not a slappy. It's Brian Howe. And guess what Brian's been? up there covering all your crappy-ass football games for 20 years. Every event that happens at CU, Brian Howe is at, covering, writing about, and you want to poke fun at the guy so that your little SID can get a chuckle out of it? That's middle school bull, you know what.
Yeah, so you're wildly arrogant. You're wildly arrogant, but you've never really done anything as a coach. You have totally mishandled the recruiting process, all right? Your university, and you're their second biggest bill after the House settlement, $20.5 million. Your university is bleeding out money in a way that they never have. And what do CU fans or alumni have to cling to? Deion's word, his promise that this will never happen again. Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, there's something happening within the Broncos right now, and I think it's flying a bit under the radar. We'll change that next.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan at Blue Sports Stable in Superior for our Denver Sports Equipment Drive, benefiting Recruiting Classroom. We're taking donations of new or gently used sports equipment through December 20th. Head to denversports.com/equipment for a list of drop-off locations and most needed items. And help us spread some cheer this holiday season.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Hey, Stoke here. At Colorado Joint Replacement, your hip or knee replacement surgery is their first priority. They completed over 27,000 joint replacements since 2005, and their expert surgeons are committed to helping you get back to the life you love. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
After a car accident, you might wonder, do I really need a lawyer? But at Postman Law, we go beyond the courtroom. We're your single point of contact for insurance, medical bills, and doctors. Get the outcome you deserve without the headache.
Call 844-POSTMAN, attorney advertising.
Happy holidays, Colorado. This is David Szymanski with U.S. Mortgages, and after 30 years, we could not be more thankful and grateful to this great state and all the people who have contacted us and trusted us for their loan needs. Remember to take time to reflect on what matters most this holiday season, like family, friends, and God. We are in such a blessed country, and we all have so much to be thankful for. So from all of us to all of you, thank you and happy holidays.
You know that feeling when you catch a glimpse in the mirror and think, hey, I look 10 years younger. That's what happens when you stop dieting and start doing Soda weight loss.
I tried point counting, calorie counting, shots, and nothing has worked until Soda weight loss.
Soda weight loss gives you a personal nutritionist you can text anytime.
Everybody's great here. Everybody's encouraging. There were some times where I felt down and they brought me back up. If you stick with this program, you will lose weight and you will get to your go away.
When you sign up for Soda Weight Loss, your partner joins for free.
If you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and yes, look and feel 10 years younger, this is your moment. No meds, no gimmicks, just real results with real support.
Remember, sign up now and your partner joins for free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's powered by Red Rock Roofing.
Standing for greatness.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins the drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Thursday, December 4th, hanging out with you, Richie Carney, filling in for Phillip Lindsay for one more day here, sounds like. As Phil's just a little bit under the weather. We have a lot to get to. I did not know that, we were going to be walking into the conversation about CU and Dion. And I have been the most critical and loudest voice on this station for 3 years when it comes to Deion Sanders.
There's going to be a promo about it tomorrow morning.
And, oh, dear. Oh, dear. Let's blast it out further. Yeah, I'm turned off almost at every turn. I'm turned off at almost every turn. And, now that the athletic department itself is bleeding money, I've become fascinated on the next steps of this. And we'll get to the Broncos here in just a second. But I have emphatically said every single time we've had the conversation about CU losing money, which we've been having it for over a month now since the first USA Today expose came out, probably 5-6 weeks ago. Drew sent it to us and started to kind of sniff around. And then you get the numbers this week from USA Today and a follow-up to their original story. Yes, they're not the only athletic department in the country that's losing money. I've said that repeatedly every time we have the conversation, okay? But there is a reason that USA Today, the national outlet, is writing about CU Boulder. They're not writing about anyone else. They're writing about CU Boulder, because it's a very unique situation that's happening up there. So I've had listeners say, well, hey, Joel Klatt came on and said other athletic departments lose money. I got it. I know. I'm well aware. I've shoehorned that into every conversation. But if you think that USA Today is writing about CU Boulder and Dion and the football program because they spun a wheel and picked it for that weekly activity, you're nuts. You're nuts. So Richie, I don't know what's next. I have a guess at what's next. But man, I am just fascinated somehow. When Travis is gone and Shador's gone, I'm as fascinated with this next window of time as any previously. Yeah. I know that sounds nuts to some people.
No, I'll co-sign that because I think that the roller coaster that we've been on since Coach Prime set foot up in Boulder. And honestly, kind of the saga leading up to that when it was kind of whittling down and we were getting reports from Paul Feinbaum that Boulder might be a place that this, and then it happened. And then it started off the way that it did before falling apart in his first year. Shedeur Sanders in his first game as a Colorado Buffalo sets a program record
literally
at the quarterback position against TCU.
Nuts. That was nuts.
It's one of the more exciting college football games that this state has seen in a long time.
Agreed. As a 21.5-point underdog, they covered the spread that was meant for them.
Right. And then obviously, it didn't end well. And then you had the revival season, a 9-win team. You got a 2-way Heisman Trophy winning superstar. Shedeur is one of the better quarterbacks in the country. We're talking about him going number 1 overall. And that might actually be what's been the most damaging part of all this was the success that momentarily and temporarily kind of took a lot of attention off of these things that were brewing under the surface the entire time. All of the warts as a program, the deficiencies from a organizational standpoint with his coaching staff, philosophically, all of those things. And now all those things that have come more to light when they don't have a Shedeur and a Travis to kind of dog and pony show the way through the Big 12 season.
And those guys were great, man. I don't want to take anything away from those two.
No, it's
especially Travis.
It's especially Travis, but like honestly, it's a joke, in a way, but it's kind of fair to be like, boy, does the way the quarterback position looked last year make you appreciate any more what Shedeur was doing? I know he got his jersey retired, and there was a lot of things around that, and maybe it's not worth that still, at least in my opinion.
No, it's not. But he was a baller. Shedeur was a baller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that becomes a situation where I think, because people are like, well, why didn't everybody see this coming? Why did this? Why didn't that? It's like, well, I think that you did. But there's just also other things going on. And now the things that are going on are just kind of amplifying and making it worse. And we're heading into a season where there may never have been a point in the history of Colorado football where there's more pressure to perform on a singular season than this upcoming one.
Yeah, and for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
It's not the pressure to perform because you've loaded this class, you've built to 2016 with the same group of guys, and now's the time to break through. It's, dude, this has become a really bad look nationally. And so, and I say bad look. Bad look is so secondary to losing the most money in the history of the athletic department in an era of time where it was thought of to be the most fruitful financial era. It was the opposite.
Right.
Literally the opposite. So, again.
Because you factor in the spending. You're making a lot of money, but you're spending more.
Of course. Yep. Of course. And so you have this new big bill, $20.5 million from the House Settlement Committee, and then you have this other gargantuan bill that's half of that in Deion's salary. And guess what? His salary is only going up over the handful of years. And so it's problematic. It's problematic. And I know, and by the way, we had someone text in and say, hey, CU is a proud institution and, great school. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. No one.
That's the reason why there's emotion behind the conversation.
Yeah. And if you are one of these people, a CU graduate, and who is, has deep connection with the university and like all that, you should be the one who's most concerned because your side of the university, the academic, the university itself is having to cut the largest check that they've ever cut to make the athletic department work. And it's nuts. It's nuts. And so we'll see what the response is. We'll see what kind of recruiting Deion does. But man, you cannot be the only coach in the country who doesn't go out and recruit and then say you didn't see it coming. So we'll see. We'll see how it all ages. Hey, there's something happening within the Broncos right now, and I think it's flying under the radar. Last Sunday, Courtland Sutton became the third fastest player in the history of the Denver Broncos to reach 6,000 yards. He also surpassed 700 yards on the season with still 5 games ahead of him. He's just the fourth player in the history of the Denver Broncos to eclipse 700 receiving yards in 5 straight seasons. Rich, if he gets to 62 yards on Sunday, he's going to pass Steve Watson for 6th on the all-time receiving list. And Steve Watson played from 1979 through 87. Courtland Sutton, I'm not going to say quietly because it's not like people are wondering who Courtland Sutton is. He's a household name here in Denver, household NFL name really, over the years. But it feels like his accomplishments, because these are like legitimate historical benchmarks, are kind of flying underneath the radar.
They absolutely are. They are. He's a receiver that really, when you look at his career as a Bronco as a whole, he's done a lot of these things when healthy his entire career. It's just been the revolving door at quarterback that's kind of masked it. He had a 1,000-yard season with 3 different starting quarterbacks.
Crazy.
Over the course of 16 games. And, the injury really took a toll on his kind of production, and it made a lot of question marks start to swirl around what his future might be. And then it took him about a year and a half or so to really get back to full form. But he has kind of had a tenure here in Denver that feels like, even though it shouldn't have, sneaks up on you, and I think it's just being magnified now that the Broncos have more stability in production at the quarterback position. Because let's not forget, last year or 2 years ago with Russell Wilson, Courtland Sutton had 3 of the top 10 touchdowns on NFL Network's top 10 of the season.
Yep, he
so
did.
30%.
He did.
So
That's
we talk
wild.
About, yeah,
I forgot about that.
You talk about a
actually.
household name nationally, locally, all that stuff. But again, even for us here nationally and locally, we talked about those plays. But to see it play out that way, I guess I would argue that kind of snuck up even on us. And these kind of stats that you just read that I was unaware of snuck up on me as well.
Yeah, so you want to know what else, though? It feels like not only is Sutton's benchmark accomplishments flying under the radar, but I feel like he, as a wide receiver 1, is flying under the radar within the Broncos' own offense.
Yeah, because we've been having conversations. We were certainly before the start of the season when it was the contract negotiations of is Courtland Sutton even a wide receiver 1 in the NFL, or is he just a wide receiver 1 here? It's like, if you can't be with the one you love the one you with. Like, he may not be, the number 1 in Cincinnati or in Tampa Bay or wherever, but in Denver, and I think he's proven over the course of this season that maybe doesn't really matter.
Well, I'll say this, dude. We have said that, of course, I agree, and that has been the truth. Like, well, maybe he's not a bona fide number 1 on every team or half the league, but he's been the number 1 here. Why does Troy Franklin have more targets than him? It's Troy Franklin and not Courtland Sutton who's leading the Broncos in targets. And Courtland has more receptions and has more yards, but he's not being featured like Troy Franklin is right now. And it doesn't really add up to me. And Troy Franklin is a young, exciting player, an ascending player, and he's had a really good year number 2. But, like, for instance, it's Raiders week, right? Last time the Broncos played the Raiders, Troy Franklin had 9 targets, of which he produced 40 yards. 9 targets, though. You know who the leading receiver in the NFL is right now? I'm putting you on the spot, so no pressure.
I should know, but it's not.
Anyone know behind the glass who the leading receiver in the NFL is right now?
It's not JSN.
It is.
Okay.
He gets 9 targets a game.
Okay.
So it's like, why the insane emphasis here, especially in the last month and a half, on Troy Franklin superseding Courtland Sutton in targets? Doesn't add up for me.
If I was to speculate, I might say that Troy Franklin obviously has a prior relationship with Bo Nix. There's some tantalizing athleticism and playmaking potential there. And what Courtland Sutton is, even if he's not maybe, from a physical standpoint, some of the receiver he was 5-6 years ago, he's all reliable. And so I think you could argue, hey, mate, Troy Franklin might get 2 or 3 more targets a game, but in the receptions and the moments and the crunch times that matter, that seems to be when Sutton pops up. When it's 3rd and 12 and you got to have it,
yeah,
there's Courtland Sutton breaking open over the middle kind of thing.
Yeah, I hope they make him an emphasis here this weekend. Okay, we saw something last night in Denver sports that was historic by definition. That's next.
Have the Denver Broncos proven they're capable of making a deep playoff run?
If you can be successful in one-score games, if you can find ways to win different games, fourth-quarter comebacks, overtime wins, putting a complete game together, 60 minutes of offensive football, that's what the Broncos have done. They've shown us 5-6 different ways they can win a football game so that you get to yourself in a playoff scenario.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
What's going on, gentlemen? The holidays have a way of reminding us what really matters. Family, connections, feeling present, and most of all, feeling good. But if you've been dragging through the days, waking up tired, putting on extra weight, or your sex drive is just not there, it's tough to enjoy the season the way you want to. And for a lot of men, those are signs of low testosterone. And I'm here to tell you that you need to go see my friends at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic because they're experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. They've successfully treated tens of thousands of men that are dealing with low T just like you may be dealing with, and a lot of these men have seen the amazing differences that these treatments can make in their life. So, if you're like a lot of these guys out here, within just a few weeks after their treatments, you'll feel your energy return, the brain fog will go away, your sleep will improve, as with those workouts, and that sex drive that we all deserve to have will be significantly enhanced as well. All I need you to do is take the Low T quiz on their website. It's a simple 10-question quiz full of yes or no answers. It takes 2 minutes to do. Then what you're going to do is schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They're going to draw your blood and have the results within 30 minutes. They also have 5 locations out there to serve you, so there are no excuses. Go get treated. You can go to Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. So this Christmas, treat yourself and your low testosterone to the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic treatments. You can give them a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
Select Health, how can we help?
Representative.
I'm ready to answer any questions you have.
Representative.
I'm Sam.
Representative.
It sounds like you said representative. One moment. Select Health, how can we help?
Finally. Hi, I have a question on copays.
I can help with that.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health. Insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
Brandon Stokely here for ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Cold weather's coming fast. Do you have a game plan for winter? If your heating system is more suited for the bench, now is the best time to upgrade your system with the best pricing of the year. Take advantage of tax credits and energy rebates before they run out. Only from my team at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Dylan, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a customer service specialist, I love helping couples find their dream engagement ring. And guess what? I just got engaged, so it was fun to create one myself. First, my fiance tried on a bunch of ring styles and she was drawn to a classic diamond pave setting. Then we looked at different diamond shapes from pear to oval to cushion. She fell in love with the princess cut. At Shane Company, you can create a one-of-a-kind ring and get it in days, not weeks. Because a friend wants you to have a magical holiday proposal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Cake Mortgage Corp, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 1734623. Licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. What if you could use the equity in your home to get cash fast? With no appraisal, zero hassle, and less waiting with Cake? You can. The Cake Fast Cash program is like turning your home into your ATM. People are using it to pay off high-interest debt, do renovations, tackle student loans, or cut monthly bills by hundreds, even thousands of dollars. The best part? Your current mortgage rate won't change. With Cake, you also get peace of mind. We're AAA rated by the Better Business Bureau and backed by thousands of 5-star reviews. Cake Mortgage. Your fresh-baked Cake Fast Cash loan is ready to enjoy. So don't wait. Call 720-850-0012. That's 720-850-0012. Or visit cakehome.com for thousands of 5-star reviews.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. If you find yourself in a car accident, do not tell the insurance company you are fine. They will hold that against you even if you end up with medical bills 3 months later. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law.
Is water damaging your home? Contact Groundworks, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan, powered by Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD3, DU Hockey skates with Miami, pregame starting at 6:30. Saturday morning on 104.3 HD3, DU Women's Basketball faces Idaho with pregame starting at 11:30. On The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams, CSU Basketball faces CU with pregame starting at 2:30.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at wistaracu.com.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip.
is endless. And I've made the joke over the years, like, and I don't know if you've seen the Harry Potters. I was very late to them, but you watched them as an adult. And Hermione's got this. Hermione has this. What do they call it? Like a spell where she has a limitless extension on her bag.
Yep.
So like she can reach into her bag, even though it looks like a little purse. She's gonna pull out coats for everyone where it gets freezing cold or whatever. And that is Jamal Murray's bag. It is endless, and when he's got it going, man, it was just like pass the popcorn.
It really is, and that's how you get the monikers, you know, the playoff Jamal, the champion Jamal, all that stuff. Because when he is on. And it's like on, because he loves to heat check himself. And he was doing it last night, and it just kept falling. And it's special. I mean, it really is when you talk about his ability to create his own shot, the way he operates in space, his release can be, you know, it can be delayed, it can be quick. It just feels like he can kind of get you every which way, and it was fully on display last night.
It was, man. He missed 6 shots on his way to 52 points.
An ethical 52, by the way.
It was. He is the 9th player in the history of NBA basketball to score 52 points or more with 5 or fewer free throws. But here's the kicker. This is the second time he's done this. He had the game in 2020 or 2021 where he got to 50 and didn't shoot a free throw.
That was when he was going back and forth with Donovan Mitchell, right? In that
I believe
bubble
so.
series.
I believe so.
They were like trading 50-point performances.
Yes. And that was just nuts. So this is the second time we've seen Jamal Murray do something like this. And, you know, did he do it against a terrible team? He sure did. But we were just in here. I was just in here frustrated. Let me speak for myself. Watching these Nuggets lose to these bad teams who are on losing streaks and getting right by coming to Denver and beating the Nuggets. So I wasn't exactly sure, you know, what version of the Nuggets we were going to get last night. And actually, we didn't know if Jamal Murray was going to play until about 90 minutes before tip-off.
We were debating whether or not he should. And it's like, hey, listen, we know Jamal's had some injuries before, and it's tended to kind of snowball and nag throughout a season. And do you even want to take a chance? I know that you're already down a couple of starters, but do you want to take a chance against a bad Pacers team that you had said you should probably be able to beat these guys even without Jamal?
Oh, yeah.
And that's true. But he decides to, says, I feel good in warm-ups, I feel good in my pregame process, and clearly it translated.
It did. And you want to know what's crazy? And I know not everyone cares about this. I just think it's interesting. The spread on the game yesterday, when we got on the air, was 7.5 points. Okay? And you'd think it'd be a lot bigger with at the time, a 14-6 Nuggets team playing a 4-17 Pacers team.
That had won 2 games like in the last handful of days.
Yes. So it was a 7-point spread. Jamal Murray gets announced as playing. The spread went to 8.5. It moved a point. And again, that's the odds makers saying that in last night's game, going into the game, and this can also show you how flawed the odds makers can be, that going into yesterday's game in Indianapolis, that Jamal Murray was worth 1 point to the spread. And then he goes out and scores 52.
Well, listen, Jamal's been open about the fact that he's heard comments from Shaq and national media members, and it's fueled kind of like spite performances. MPJ during his time here was big with that too. So maybe Jamal was that was floated to him that said, "Oh, okay, maybe they're not expecting much from you tonight," and he said, "All right, I got you."
You never know, I suppose. But in NBA history, only 3 players have had multiple road games in their career scoring 50 points or more on 75% shooting. There's just 3. It's Wilt Chamberlain, it's Michael Jordan, and it's Jamal Murray. And Jamal right now now you can say it's a year too late. I would say it's a year too late. Is answering the bell and answering the mantle of responsibility of being a max player and actually showing up to the season in shape and focused and mostly available. 24.7 points per game, career high. 6.6 assists per game, career high. 4.6 rebounds per game, career high. 3.3 threes per game is a career high. Shooting 50% from the field, that's a career high. Shooting 45% from 3, that's a career high. we have, and I have been critical, and fairly so. He has heard that criticism, or he hasn't. I don't know how he lives his life. I have a little bit of an idea. But he is answering the bell. And can he sustain it? We'll see. But the early returns, it's the best first month and a half to a season he's ever had, Rich.
Career highs in 6 major statistical categories, dropping a 50-burger, joining his 2 teammates, by the way, as 3 Nuggets are among the 8 total 50-plus point games this season.
Crazy.
So you got 3 of the 8, and they all happen. I believe the Nuggets are the first team ever in NBA history to have 3 players record 50-plus point performances like that in the first 26 games of a season.
Yeah, in the first 26 games.
Yes.
Yep.
So you have all of that. With those career highs, pretty unequivocally, in my opinion, the best start to a season Jamal Murray's ever had in his NBA career. All-star appearance for the first time?
Yep, he'll be an all-star.
Okay.
He will be an all-star, and he deserves to be one right now on a really good team in the Western Conference, and he is producing. He's a part of the reason why right now. All right, the trailer for the new John Elway documentary on Netflix just dropped. Expect to get some chills coming up next.
Is Alex Singleton playing his way toward Broncos immortality?
He signed a 1-year, $1 million contract, and then all he does is goes on to set the single-season tackle record, and then he blows out his ACL. He comes all the way back, gets flagged for cancer, and then 23 days later, he's back making big plays for the Broncos? This guy is a legend in my book. He is becoming a Denver Broncos legend.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Quiet down, here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been injured in Colorado, you want Wilhite. After an accident, you want Colorado's accident experts on your side, the Wilhite Law Firm. Get your free case review right now. Just call 303-GOOD-LAW today or visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Red Rock Roofing. Red Rock Roofing stands for greatness, which is why their free inspection videos offer you valuable knowledge and peace of mind about your Red Rock roof. Red Rock roofers use only the finest roofing materials on the market, installing roofs that'll stand up to all Colorado weather, and they'll even upgrade you to impact-resistant shingles at no cost. Call 720-735-ROOF. Visit redrockroofing.com. Red Rock Roofing, standing for greatness.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. The holidays will be here before you know it, and for many families, that means excitement, but also stress. Between gifts, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out if you qualify. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Spine One. Let me ask you a question. You live with back pain, neck pain. Well, my guys at Spine One, they're an emergency room for back pain with same-day appointments. They'll see you and they'll get the journey started. And that's exactly what I did. Whether it's chronic pain, acute pain, work-related, sports-related, doesn't matter. All you got to do is pick up the phone and start your journey just like I did toward pain-free. 303-367-2225. That's 303-367-BACK. Or as always, you can find them online at spineone.com.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
The trailer for the new John Elway documentary on Netflix just dropped today. Man, you guys see this? Now I knew the documentary was coming out because John started to do like promo for it.
Yeah.
And you know, John's story is so unique. It's so unique, but I think that we all collectively are about to learn just a little bit more. Just in dedicated documentary fashion. And even if you've read the Elway books, and I still think that you're going to learn something. And we have the trailer. All right, it's a little bit longer of an audio cut than we would typically play, but it just dropped today. You haven't heard this, right?
I have not.
Okay. So you're going to hear it like a lot of our listeners for the first time, and obviously you're not seeing the visual of it, but it's still pretty damn cool. Here is the trailer for the John Elway documentary on Netflix.
John Elway, the most gifted quarterback to ever play in the National Football League.
I can still remember feeling that responsibility and the expectation.
This is his 3rd loss in a Super Bowl.
I had to sacrifice everything to be the best.
Everything changed for Colorado in 1983.
Been the most spoken about name in American sports.
John Elway.
John Elway.
First time I saw him practice, I'm going, man, this guy's a freak.
He is going to be one of the greats of all time, I think.
He got the nickname the Duke of Denver.
The Duke of Denver.
Duke of Denver.
He's got the ball, touchdown.
He was shy, sweet. He's not neat and pigeon-toed. And all of a sudden, I'm dating this superstar.
His first year, I'd never seen anybody get beat around like he did. Everyone was expecting John was going to take us to the top right away.
With Dan's offense, it was different than I was used to.
Bam, bam, bam.
My head was spinning.
Was he overblown by the media?
Part of the growing pains of coming into the NFL.
People have no idea how hard this guy worked to be who he was.
For me, looking over the last 50 years, my whole life, winning was the most important thing. I think that was at the sacrifice to my family.
Depending on whether he won or lost, there was definitely a mood shift.
I used to be pretty intimidated with him.
This comes with the territory.
My parents' marriage was crumbling.
You really start to pick up on the gravity of the situation.
I got death threats.
All the focus and the media and everything was on John.
He helped a city transform itself. But let's be real, he was going to have to win a Super Bowl to be coronated. John took it personally. He had one goal.
The frustration level grew.
Before he's ever going to be considered a great quarterback, he has to win one of these things.
Those are the sacrifices that athletes make to be great.
Touchdown, Denver!
Greatness is more than just a performance on the field.
And my dad always said,
From Stanford,
you can't take the easy way out.
#7.
So this was the moment.
Jeez.
I just got chills.
Dude. Oh my gosh. That is going to be must-see television. All right, and I believe it premieres on December 22nd here, so in just a couple weeks.
Merry Christmas.
Right before Christmas. That'll definitely be something I watch, probably on the day it comes out. But man, oh man, oh man, they're going to get into some of the layers of John, the human being. And man, I know there's going to be, and you could just tell a little bit, there's going to be some darkness a little bit and some just storytelling. And he's such a legendary figure in all of sports. And I'm just excited to peel back the curtain on what this thing is going to look like on December 22nd.
It's really rare, that you have a singular person, a human being, that through a lens of sports literally puts an entire city and in some ways a state and a community on the map.
Yeah.
I mean, what John Elway did as a member of the Denver Broncos and bringing the city of Denver and the state of Colorado first and foremost into the limelight in the sporting world, it's almost impossible to replicate. It's so rare, and the way that he was able to fail so many times on the way up.
Yeah.
And and some of the darkness that you mentioned, because every great story has that.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the redemption arc so sweet, and riding off into the sunset, back-to-back Super Bowls, then rejoining the team as a member of the front office and constructing the best offense in the history of the NFL, and maybe one of, if not the best defenses in the history of the NFL in a span of 3 seasons, with one in between, and winning one as an executive. Just, it's hard to find one singular person that means more to a team, a city, and a state than John Elway to what we have here.
No, it's really hard to find. And I'd be curious, like RamosLaw.com texters, is there another region that you can think of where one person created such a large footprint for an entire region? A city, a state for sure, but also just the mountain time zone. John is, wow. I mean, so I can't wait for this. Can't wait to watch it. I believe also it's Payton Manning and Omaha Productions that is behind this.
That would be so fitting.
To just tie it full circle back to Super Bowl 50. And
some of the voices that you heard in there too, Adam Schefter, Shannon Sharp, Little Birdie told me that somebody who works in this building is featured in that documentary as well.
Sure.
So it's going to be so fun because there's so many different layers to that onion.
Who else in Denver sports or Colorado sports deserves a documentary that has not had one? I want to get the listeners involved with this on the RamosLaw.com text line. Maybe you can even put it out on social media here during the commercial break. But like Coach Mack, he's got a documentary, right? So who in the history of Denver sports or Colorado sports deserves a documentary that currently doesn't have one? I believe this was and I may be wrong about this, but I thought this was supposed to come out like a year ago. And I don't know what held it up. I really don't. And I hope I'm not making that up. But I remember this being like put out there last winter, I want to say. But regardless, it's coming out later this month. It's going to be fascinating. I know we'll be talking about it here on the show. Can't wait.
Think about this in super brief, because you put it out there like, hey, on RamosLaw.com text line, give me another athlete to a city or a region that had that kind of magnitude and gravity. And you can argue whether or not these two submissions are good, bad, or indifferent. But the first two that came in on the text line, Michael Jordan in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And LeBron James in the city of Cleveland.
I like that one better than Jordan in Chicago because
Chicago's a major city.
Yeah. Jordan's in like his second year. The Bears are winning the Super Bowl. So Blackhawks run deep.
Yep.
But
nobody was paying attention to Akron and Cleveland.
No.
Prior to
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Okay. So we'll field some of those suggestions. Who in Colorado sports deserves a documentary that doesn't have one? Also, we'll take a look at the tail of the tape between the Broncos and the Raiders, and should style points matter on Sunday? That's next.
Does David Adelman need to take a page from his predecessor's playbook?
When you look and listen to David Adelman, do you feel like you are looking and listening at a guy that's going to be able to get on guys and do so in a way that they're going to respond? Malone could be intimidating.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can Adelman get the message across when the offense is bad?
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
At Postman Law, we're not your typical injury firm. Our lawyers have won at the U.S. Supreme Court, gone head-to-head with giants like Uber and Amazon, and recovered billions for clients. When you've been injured, having the right lawyer matters. PostmanLaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers.
Call 844-POSTMAN. Attorney Advertising.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids are going to grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices are going to be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, no strings attached. So even though your kids will grow up and you still won't understand what 6-7 means, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Colorado can count on.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like. And of course, my marriage, yes. No man in their 40s wants to have low libido in their marriage. I'm really thankful for this therapy because it just makes me feel the man I want to be, active, at home, everywhere. If you're feeling like I was, call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today and get checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thanks, Greg. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
It's holiday season again, which is great, but also a time of great stress. Planning and paying for friends, family, bills, gifts, etc. can make what should be the best time of the year into the most stressful. At U.S. Mortgages, we want to help reduce stress and debts. Lock in our below-market 4.75 5-year fixed, 5.81 APO.
Wait, you have a 4.75% fixed rate for 5 5 years?
Yes, and it comes with our lowest rate for life program. If the market improves after you close, even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee. And there's no limit to the number of times you can use this. Lower your bills and stress, save money, and no payments until January of 26. Plus, access up to $15,000 in cash benefits just in time for the holidays. Call us now at 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Hey, Brandon Stokely here. Colorado Joint Replacement is part of Advent Health, one of the nation's largest healthcare providers. They offer innovative hip and knee replacement surgery with expert, compassionate care. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD3, DU Hockey skates with Miami, pregame starting at 6:30. Saturday morning on 104.3 HD3, DU Women's Basketball faces Idaho with pregame starting at 11:30. On The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams, CSU Basketball faces CU with pregame starting at 2:30.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
Leading off with the big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. Hanging out with you, Richie Carney filling in for Phillip Lindsay today. And, man, a lot of reaction to the question that I put out there of, hey, what other Colorado athlete would you want to see featured in a documentary? And we can maybe get to some of those responses. Do you have one yourself?
Yeah, I was trying to clarify, like, is it an individual or a team? Because in a team setting, like the 2009 or the late 2000s Nuggets, right? The Thuggets. I think that would be fantastic viewing pleasure. Jokic is obviously got to be at the top of the list whenever he hangs it up. Does Patrick Waugh have a documentary?
I don't think so. Drew would know that if he did, but I don't. I think we would know. I mean, he's been featured in documentaries, obviously, but
they had the E60 with the Red Wings.
Which is still elite.
But Patrick Waugh just had that fiery personality, and he was obviously so talented. Like, he just profiles to me as someone that would make for a fun, like, follow around and see what it's like.
Yeah. You know what I would like to see, and I don't know if they would ever do it. The Carmelo Anthony arc of his time in Denver, where he thought he was going, because he was convinced he was going to be a Piston, convinced of it. And by the way, real quick, random. That draft where the Pistons were elite and a championship level team, but also had the second overall pick, that almost never happens. Okay, where you're a championship team, but you own this pick, and the team that you own it from is so bad that you're a champion, but you're going to pick at the top of the draft. So, like, it's only happened a couple times. Len Bias, who also has a documentary coming out of Maryland. Like, the Celtics just owned this pick, and they were a champion drafting at the top of the draft.
Right.
That happened with the Pistons, with Darko.
Oh, that's right. Second overall?
Yes.
Yeah.
So check this out. You have a Pistons team that has Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, and Rip Hamilton, and has the second pick in the draft.
One of my favorite teams ever.
Right? So Melo thinks he's going to Detroit to the point where he said he was so excited to go to Detroit, he was buying Detroit Pistons gear with his own money to start wearing.
Wow.
They take Darko number 1. Melo falls to number 3, where he gets drafted by the Denver Nuggets. But then you have, and real quick, I wanted to mention that because that is going to happen this year.
With the Thunder.
Yes.
And the Clippers.
Yes. It's so rare, but you have a champion who has a pick from a team that's supposed to be good in the Clippers, who's now really, really bad, to the point where they're telling CP3 get out of here and all this stuff. So, and I mentioned this to you yesterday, and I think I even said it Monday. If the draft were today, the Oklahoma City Thunder would have a top 5 pick.
Jeez, the rich get rich, and with the NBA especially, where you can trade these picks out so many years in advance, and there's protected and unprotected. And,
correct.
And this and it just adds to the chaos. I did think of if I could add a documentary candidate now.
Hold on, real quick. Let me finish my thought because I got sidetracked on the draft stuff because it's so unusual. But the reason that Melo came to Colorado was because of one of these rare intersections where a top team has a draft pick. So I wanted to get that thought out real quick. Do you have something on this, Dante? Before
I do. I saw this take the other day that because Giannis is reportedly on the trade block, the team that's actually most equipped to trade for Giannis is probably the Thunder, and they just don't need it. They're 21-1.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but if they wanted
how scary is that?
If they wanted to, they have the chips, more chips than anyone else to compete for his services.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
They have set themselves up in a way that is going to be studied by scientists decades from now.
Correct. What is the GM's name is escaping me right now? Gosh, in Oklahoma City, the GM is Sam
Presti.
Sam Presti. I had a thought that if I'm Dick Monfort, you double Sam Presti's salary and try to get him to come run the Rockies.
Right.
The way that the Browns doubled DePodesta's salary to come try to figure out their situation.
And there's the precedent.
So anyway, a lot of randomness here. But the documentary suggestion I would have, if based on the conversation we were having about John Elway getting his own documentary later this month, and if you have an idea, you can hit me up, ramoslaw.com text line, or on my Twitter account. Put the question out on Twitter. It would be the arc of the Melo story and the breakup.
Yeah.
And how that at the time, the greatest player in franchise history, arguably, could get to a point with the org that they have this really, really messy divorce to the point where he's being booed a decade after the trade. And all the inner workings of that. That is something for me that would be must-see TV.
Yeah, and I think one suggestion that popped up into my head that's kind of along the same lines, where there's a dark side to it. There's maybe some drama to it. And again, I don't know that maybe the team wouldn't love for this particular documentary to air, but I promise you, I would be watching at the first available opportunity. If we got a documentary about the Avalanche Seattle Kraken postseason series and the disappearing act of Valeri Nichushkin, Little Sleepless in Seattle.
Yes.
2 parts.
Yes.
I would watch that the second it was available to stream with everything that happened. You had a team at the peak of its powers, winning a Stanley Cup, and then in back-to-back seasons, it's derailed by a singular player's disappearance and how important he was to the dynamic they had. That would be awesome.
Yes. It will never happen. It'll never see the light of day. There'll be no participation. But, yeah, that would be fascinating in a darker way. Seeing, Larry Walker.
Sure. Todd Helton.
Rocktober and Todd and the Toddlers. Seeing
Todd and the Toddlers is so good. That's like a documentary nickname or kind of group there.
Totally. Someone says, I'd love to see a documentary about Steve Atwater. Someone says the 1977 Broncos. That was the dawn of the Broncos were on the scene, the Orange Crush, and going to the Super Bowl and playing the Dallas Cowboys. Someone says Chauncey Billups. That documentary would probably take a right turn here if you were to include all this stuff.
Yeah. If that was in the works 5 years ago.
Yeah, and we'll see how that all plays out in court, by the way. Let's see how that all plays out in court. The Nolan Arenado divorce.
Oh, that's a good one.
This was unequivocally, I shouldn't say unequivocally, in my opinion, the greatest player in the history of the franchise. We never saw in baseball history someone walk into the National League as an infielder and win the Gold Glove for the first 6 years of their career. No precedent.
Yeah, and you look at Larry Walker was a great Rocky, and he was just a Hall of Fame baseball player in general. But Larry Walker had ties to someone else before he came to Colorado. Nolan was a product of the Rockies. Yep. He was their guy.
Yep. Someone says Peter Forsberg. That is an interesting one.
The Lindros trade.
Yes, the Eric Lindros trade that brought him to Quebec and all that stuff. Yeah, man, there's some really good ones There's some really, and obviously we're seeing a lot of Jokic. Like, of course, like the Jokic story. Once this is over, going back to his time in Sombor, Serbia, to what he became. I mean, that's just begging to be done.
Is there a Blake Street Bombers, Doc? That would be an easy one. If
I
you're
don't
talking.
think so.
I mean, they're a grouping, but I mean that was special.
Yes, baseball coming to a mile high, still the all-time attendance record over the course of any single baseball season was here. Playing in a football stadium and selling it out. I mean, that is definitely one. Okay, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Love the suggestions. Can't get to everyone. Seeing Terrell Davis and all. There's a lot of good suggestions out there. Okay. Someone says Payton's 2012 free agency. That's a documentary.
Oh my gosh, hiding in the bushes.
Yes, the divorce from Indianapolis, moving on from what they thought was a future can't-miss franchise quarterback.
The players involved in that one, from Elway and Harbaugh and Pete Carroll and all the secrecy, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a really good one. Okay, honestly, we could do this all day. All right, I do want to get to the tail of the tape. Broncos Raiders this weekend. You cannot overstate just how important this football game is. With the number 1 seed on the line and the common opponent's tiebreaker, this is a massive football game. And what makes me have just a little bit of angst, okay, just a little bit of angst, is that we just saw this matchup within the last month. And it was one being made fun of and ridiculed and dragged all over social media, that Thursday night 10-7 game. But the Broncos, man, they could have lost that game. They could have lost that game. And now you're going on the road to play it. I know there's a massive assumption that the Broncos are going to win. But the way that a lot of these games have fell.
There was a massive assumption they were going to win the first time.
It's true.
It was a decent spread.
It was a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think it was over a touchdown, I want to say. The Broncos, and this is why we can't assume. So they've won 9 straight games, right? Their last 4 wins have come by a combined 10 points. That is tied for the smallest margin of victory by any team in a 4-game win streak in the history of NFL football.
Truthfully, Zach, it can't get much smaller. I mean, the scoring in the NFL, I guess they could have won by a safety, and they won by 1 because of a missed 2-point conversion. But you're talking about kicking field goals, sometimes with no time left on the clock, to win a game week after week after week. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Or getting walked off yourself.
Yeah.
Their 2 losses have come with zeros on the clock.
Correct. 6 different games decided on the very last play of the game. And hey,
out of 12.
We were just having the conversation about like a documentary for a Colorado athlete. If they go, and Phil and I have talked about this, if they go and do the things that Sean believes that they can do, and a huge portion of his fan base believes that they can do, this season is its own documentary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
In more ways than one. Okay. Let's talk a tale of the tape here. We take a look at the Broncos offense up against the Raiders offense. All right. Broncos, let's start with the running game. 14th in rushing offense. Now we know that things have changed, and we're using the whole season numbers, and it's a little bit different. But the Broncos rushing offense is ranked 14th in the NFL in terms of yards per game. The Raiders rushing offense, and I can't believe it. Well, I can believe it's true. Dead last. Drafted a running back in the first round. Dead last in the run, averaging only 75 yards a game. I really liked Ashton Genty coming out, not for a rebuilding Raiders team. Just the opposite approach of how you would want to build a football team.
I agree. It feels like, when you're trying to rebuild, right? This goes back to what we were talking about with Coach Prime, like building from the outside in or the inside out. Because to be honest with you, I think Ashton Genty is an NFL caliber talent at the running back position. But unless the Raiders draft 5 offensive linemen in the next 2 years in the first round, he's not going to be able to help them in any meaningful way. He has more, or at least he did for a good chunk of the season, he has more yards after contact than actual yards because he's getting hit in the backfield virtually every play.
Correct.
So he's having to fight for every single inch, and it's just amounting to a net loss.
It is. Needless to say, run game, advantage Broncos. Passing offense, Broncos are perfectly average right in the middle of the league. The Raiders are 26th in passing offense. That's advantage Broncos. Scoring is the name of the game. The Broncos are 13th in scoring. The Raiders are 31st in scoring. advantage Broncos. So you look at the offensive side of the ball, the run game, the pass game, and the scoring game. Advantage Broncos, advantage Broncos, advantage Broncos. Rich, you look at the defense. When it comes to stopping the run, the Broncos are 5th in the NFL. The Raiders are 15th, another advantage Broncos. The Denver pass defense is ranked 9th. The Raiders pass defense is ranked 17th. That's another advantage Broncos. And then, again, scoring or stopping scoring is the name of the game in this case for the defensive side of the ball. The Broncos are 4th in scoring defense. The Raiders are 26th in scoring defense. So once again, you look at the defensive side of the ball, the stopping the run, stopping the pass, and stopping opponents from getting in the end zone. Advantage Broncos, advantage Broncos, advantage Broncos.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like that slate when they're going around picking games on a panel, and it's like Broncos logo, Broncos logo, Broncos logo across the board, and you're like, okay, that makes me a little nervous, right? You got the panel jinx, the announcer jinx, all of that stuff. But yeah, Zach, if you're just looking at things objectively on paper and using like data and analytics, the Broncos are by virtually every metric a better football team than the Las Vegas Raiders. And so there's not really going to be a way around that. And that's why the Broncos, with this added layer of them having to win games by the skin of their teeth and kind of claw from behind in a lot of these situations, just adds to the drama, because even when everything goes their way on paper, as it was the same case when they played them on Thursday Night Football, there was a real portion of that game where it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
This is going to end badly.
Yeah, and they just did not play well. They offensively, anyway. It was an absolute slog. So I can't find on paper an advantage that the Raiders have over Denver. I can't find it. If you guys can find it, shoot it into the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. With that being said, should style points matter in a matchup of a 10-2 team against a 2-10 team? I know in the actual utilitarian standings, it doesn't. A win is a win. But for you as a fan of the Broncos, and I'm asking you, Richie, we can ask our listeners on the RamosLaw.com text line, should it matter, considering that the Broncos are trying to win a Super Bowl, you're playing the league's worst team, should you be winning this game comfortably? What do you think, Rich?
I want to say, again, if you're just asking me personally, yes, I want to say that it should. I think this team has proven that they can fight and claw from behind. They have that belief in each other. They talk about it every week, but they also talk about how it's not good enough and how it needs to be better, from their head coach to the offense to the defense. There's a self-awareness there that I can commend. Now I think they need to prove to themselves and to us and to Broncos country, hey, we can see these mistakes and correct them and have it translate on the scoreboard. We need to be able to put away a team that's not the Jake Browning-led Cincinnati Bengals with a very strong vote of confidence. We need to have a better resume than our main offensive explosion being against the worst defense in the NFL in a one-off aberration with the Cowboys. So I think that they've proven that they can scrap and claw and fight and go 12 rounds with any team. How about we prove we can get a first-round knockout every once in a while?
Yeah, I just maybe take some of the drama out. You know, does every Broncos game have to be an insane cliffhanger? You know, and so obviously it's not necessary. Okay, the number one requirement here is to leave Vegas with a win. All right, but I think it would be healthy to see a team that we think can go win the Super Bowl dominate one of the worst teams, if not the single worst team in the sport that you play in.
Yes, because in the same fashion that we had talked about with the Chiefs kind of hanging on life support as they are again this weekend, if we're talking about them being able to sneak into the playoffs as like a 7-seed wild card option, I said it, and I think you echoed it, as did a lot of people. If the Chiefs got into the postseason and were the number 7 seed, which historically speaking in that iteration of the NFL's playoff format gets their doors kicked in.
They do.
Every single year.
Yep.
And the Broncos were the receiving end of it with the Buffalo Bills last postseason.
Correct.
But if the Chiefs made it in there, despite the fact that they've looked as mortal as they have during their dynastic run with Reed Mahomes, they would have the top seeds in the AFC shaking more than any 7 seed before them. Conversely, I think if the Broncos do what they are fully capable of doing and secure the number 1 seed in the AFC, those wildcard teams that would normally be looking up at a situation where their history says they're going to get blown out and be licking their chops to come play Denver because they're like, look how imperfect these guys are. But handling business against one of the worst teams in the NFL that you are better in every metric on paper and just blowing the roof off of one of these games helps put a little bit of fear back into the teams that are going to be coming up against you very soon to say, hey, no, we don't have to win it. We've won a lot of games that way, but we can beat you other ways too.
Yep. Okay. What went right and what went wrong the last time that these two teams played one another? So we know it was just less than a month ago. It was on November 6th, all right, Thursday Night Football, a 10-7 win. I think the top thing for me that went right for the Broncos was taking the best tight end in football out of the game. Bowers had one catch for 31 yards, and I believe it came very early in the game. I want to say it was like the first two possessions. Outside of that one catch, he never got to reception number 2. And really, he was barely targeted. He had 3 total targets, and Bowers is just an absolute animal. This guy, he was a rookie a year ago, right? Broke every rookie tight end record there was. Catches, receptions. He's got 1,767 receiving yards since the start of last year. He needs 107 receiving yards over the next 5 games to pass Gronk for the third most by a tight end in their first 2 seasons. Chances are, if he continues to produce, Richie, he's going to pass Mike Ditka and George Kittle for basically the greatest start of a tight end's career.
Yeah, no, he's a special player. I mean, what was it? Was it last week that he had that, there was 3 unbelievable catches that almost happened in succession, and Brock Bowers, diving with a one-handed catch underneath his body. What he lacks in hairline, he makes up for in just absolute raw physical talent.
Agreed.
And I know that they took care of business and handled that last time. But that does not really give me a ton of confidence that I'm just going to write it off that it'll happen again, because he possesses the capability to do those kinds of things on any given Sunday.
Yep. And by the way, I was watching that game. He caught a touchdown 2 plays before that they took off the board.
Yeah.
2 plays later, he catches that crazy, insane. It's like this guy, the Broncos have done as good of a job on him as anyone in the league. Quite frankly, 31 yards, season low, back on Thursday Night Football on November 6th. What went wrong?
A lot.
Where would you start?
They had more penalties than first downs.
Problematic.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good thing.
7 3-and-outs in 13 total possessions.
Man. And then the turnovers.
Yep, Bo had a couple picks.
Yeah, Bo had 2 interceptions that day. So, yeah, they have got to clean it up. They have got to clean it up. And my guess is that they will. Thursday Night Football is always just a little bit freaking different, man.
Yep.
It's usually bad ball. We actually have a really good game tonight.
Yeah.
Lions and the Dallas Cowboys, what is effectively feels like an elimination game in the NFC.
Yeah.
But even when you get good teams, like Denver, it's Thursday Night Football. It's inorganic to the body to play a game that soon. So my guess is that the Broncos are going to take care of business in Vegas on Thursday. And I know they're going on the road, but Broncos country is going to take over Allegiant Stadium. And if they don't, man, if for some reason that they don't, man, this would be, you talk about derailing momentum, this would be a bad loss.
Oh, well, I mean, we talked about the tiebreaker implications, the parameters and all that. But again, it would feel like the all of the air is suddenly let out of the balloon that's just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger over this 9-game win streak. Remind me, though, was Marvin Mims missing from the Thursday Night Football game?
I believe he was.
Because the special teams was rough for the Broncos. I know they blocked a punt, they blocked the Raiders punt and all that, but the Broncos special teams in and of itself, I remember being a struggle, and it was kind of bailed out by I think they had 6 sacks, the Broncos did, so that kind of helped keep them in it. But I think really offense and special teams, there was very little to like, and the defense is the only reason they were in a position to do anything.
Is that the game where Michael Bandy was returning?
It might have been.
And I think he muffed the punt.
He did.
Or he basically misplayed it, and it was I believe it was a turnover, I want to say. I think that was that game.
I
that
think
game.
it was because I think I had I placed a small investment on a Michael Bandy touchdown.
Yes,
I closed my eyes and I was envisioning.
I predicted it.
I was envisioning this.
Yeah. Bands did not make her dance on Thursday Night Football.
No.
And we haven't seen Bandy since.
No.
So, all right, we have a bit of breaking news today on the Colorado Buffaloes front. Details next.
It'll be fine by dusk, but I'm telling you, baby.
There's something in the orange and blue coming to Empower Field next August. Zach Bryan is bringing his With Heaven On tour to the Mile High City, and we want you there.
Let me go.
Download the Denver Sports 1043 The Fan app and click on the contest banner to enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the hottest show of the summer.
We're having an all-night revival.
Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
Winter is here, Denver, and Hermes Worldwide is your ride to all action. Whether you're bundling up to cheer on the Broncos at Empower Field or heading downtown to catch the Avs on the ice or the Nuggets on the court, make sure you get there on time and in style. This holiday season, let Hermes handle your Christmas light tours, festive nights out, and stress-free airport transfers. Leave the traffic and icy parking lots to somebody else. Hermes Worldwide also offers championship-level transportation. Picture this. You and your crew rolling up to the stadium in a sleek, heated vehicle. No parking hassles, no driving worries, just a professional driver ready to get you to and from the game safely. Sounds great, right? Then you need to give them a call today at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 1043, The Fan.
It's time to pack the CU Event Center for Colorado basketball.
There's an alley-oop to the net.
The Buffs are back, and single game and group tickets are on sale now. Come cheer on your Buffaloes as they take on Big 12 powerhouses like Arizona, Kansas, Texas Tech, and more. Groups of 10 or more can take part in exciting game day experiences. Grab your tickets today at cubuffs.com/tickets or call the CU Athletics ticket office at 303-492-8282.
Wow, Leslie, your fireplace really sucks.
I beg your pardon?
Well, what I mean is your fireplace is literally sucking all the air out of your house and right right up the chimney every time you burn it.
Well, what can I do about it?
Well, you could get a high-efficiency gas insert from Cozy Heat. It keeps all the air you already pay the utility company to heat, and it returns up to 80% of the fire's heat back into your house.
I'd use my fireplace every chance I get if I could do that. Maybe my furnace wouldn't need to run so much.
Well, that's the whole point. Hi, this is Keith Lair with Lair Fireplace and Patio, along with my niece Leslie, to tell you how a gas insert from Cozy Heat will give you the incentive to use your fireplace again. Cozy Heat gas fireplaces and inserts are made to crank out the heat with beauty and style.
Lair's is Denver's oldest, most trusted name in fireplaces. Family owned and operated since 1954.
We'll even give you a free in-home quote, including expert installation by our own certified in-house installers.
Find us on the web at lairfireplacepatio.com.
For top quality Cozy Heat fireplaces and inserts, it's Lair Fireplace and Patio, Denver's fireplace experts.
Hey folks, Stoke here from my friends at Embers Golf, your go-to spot for holiday shopping. That's right, gear up, save big, and surprise the golf fan in your family. Embers Golf is family-owned and customer-focused, so you know you're getting the best service and the best deals. I know, I got a full bag fitting from my guys over there, Trevor and Tate. I'm telling you, it was the absolute best. I love my new clubs that I got this year. Driver 3-wood, all my irons. What a golf year it's been. So don't wait, shop now at embersgolf.com. Embers Golf, where your passion meets a greet.
For the fitness fanatic on your Christmas list, save big this holiday season. At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. We have the nation's lowest prices on the best equipment money can buy. We carry true treadmills. They are the smoothest, quietest, and best warranty treadmills ever built for the home. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose, from the safety and comfort of your own home. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. If you find yourself in a car accident, do not tell the insurance company you are fine. They will hold that against you even if you end up with medical bills 3 months later. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD3, DU Hockey skates with Miami, pregame starting at 6:30. Saturday morning on 104.3 HD3, DU Women's Basketball faces Idaho with pregame starting at 11:30. On The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams, CSU Basketball faces CU with pregame starting at 2:30.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at wistarascu.com.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on The Drive.
All right, let's come out the top rope with it. 1. All righty. So we got some news today bubbling beneath the surface that hasn't been made official yet. So we'll see where this trends, but all signs are pointing to a new offensive coordinator for Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. Meet Brennan Marion. Brennan Marion, basically think of him as like a young hotshot play caller, okay? He was the offensive coordinator at UNLV last year. And I started hearing this phrase on a few sports gambling podcasts that I listened to, the go-go offense. The go-go offense at UNLV, where they line people up in all sorts of crazy combinations, and they'll be like 2 running backs to the right of the quarterback, and it's just very tricky. And so he kills it at UNLV. They were ranked 14th in points per game, averaging 36 points a game and 250 rushing yards a game last year.
That'd be nice.
For the Runnin' Rebels, yeah. So he gets the head job at Sacramento State, where Denver's Todd Davis played, and he was the coach there for 1 year. In the first season, he had a winning record of 7-5. But this is a coach that he's from Virginia. All right, he played football at Tulsa, and he has bebopped around. He was a wide receiver coach at Texas. He was a wide receiver coach at Pittsburgh, at Hawaii. He was an offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at William and Mary. there in the at the FCS level, at Howard, Oklahoma Baptist. He has risen his way up. Just 38 years old, he's going to be the new OC and play caller in Boulder.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Listen, and you had to turn the page, right? The Pat Shurmur experiment, as has been the case in every stop of Pat Shurmur's career, collegiately or professionally, basically, it didn't work out. And it didn't work out in emphatic fashion this season when you didn't have a Shedeur and Travis to kind of float you through, the majority of your conference schedule. So I'm optimistic about this, but mainly because it feels like every move the Buffs are making is do or die at this point. Like, backs are against the wall, and so certainly a lot of pressure for a guy like Brennan Marion maybe to step into that is no fault of his own, but I'm hopeful to see how it turns out.
Yep, me too. This guy is let's just start with, he's a college coach. Going on his next step of college football, not trying to force a square peg, round hole based on NFL experience. That was a disaster, to your point with Pat Shurmur. So we'll see what it looks like. But on surface level, I think this is a good hire. Next in the 3 count.
1, 2.
All right, so we got Avs and Islanders tonight. Last time out, the Avs won 4-1. But if you remember, this game was like 2-1 with 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
And I think it was empty netters at the end. I think that was there 2 of them? I think it was back-to-back empty netters. And so you see 4-1, it's not really representative of how that was when they played at Ball Arena. What are you looking for tonight, Richie?
I think I'm just looking for things to kind of continue rolling the way that they did. We got an update on Scott Wedgwood that it's not hopefully serious. He's going to go with them on the roadie. And so you're going to have to navigate that. You'll get Blackwood between the pipes. And I kind of just want to see things not fall off. I think things are going well, so it's hard to be nitpicky and say I want to see more of this or maybe I want to see a little less of this because the Avs are just a wagon right now. So I guess I'm just hopeful that, Brock and Gabe can keep their second-line success going, that you can get, stability between the pipes with Wedgwood and maybe a little bit more of a vote of confidence under Blackwood's belt and just see how it shakes out.
Well, here's a little fun stat for you. The Avs lead the NHL with 106 goals while surrendering 53 goals, the fewest in the league. So they score the most, and teams score the least against them.
Pretty ideal.
You have to go back to the 2010 and 11 season. Vancouver Canucks were the last team to score the most goals and allow the fewest over a full season. Now, obviously, we'll see if the Avs can do it over a full season, but that team ended up going all the way to the Stanley Cup. Forget who they lost to, Vancouver, that year. It was Boston. Boston is who it was.
Add that to the list, by the way, of things that the Avalanche have accomplished that the last person or the only other people to do win to or won the Stanley Cup. I mean, that list is growing every single game, it feels like.
Yep, it is. It is. All right, next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right, man, how about this? Russell Wilson will be joining the CBS broadcast as a guest analyst on Sunday with the Giants on a bye week. This is the first step. You know what's coming. Russell Wilson is going to try to get into television, or at least get a taste of it and see if he likes it.
Yeah, it's not surprising at all. This totally fits the Robotic Russ, career arc, and it's something that, in theory, I suppose maybe his personality is suited for. I could see Russ, when you turn it on,
but I would say, like you say, that this follows the career arc of Robotic Russ. Like, is that going to play on television? Because he doesn't say really anything.
No, and this, but I could you see it? I could see it panning out the same way that Jason Witten's play-by-play career on TV did, where it was like, oh, he's insightful and he's this and he's that, but it doesn't deliver well. It doesn't translate. It was really rough. And,
yeah.
Maybe they'll get Russ a boogermobile, and he can kind of do his own thing.
When you're in that business, you have to share opinions, and Russ doesn't really share opinions. And so,
but he's going to be able to name every single player on the depth chart.
Totally. I'm kind of curious how it's going to go.
Morbidly.
Morbidly curious how it's going to go. How do you guys behind the glass? How do you guys think Russell Wilson would be at doing television as a studio analyst?
I think he'll be better at it than he is playing quarterback right now.
I would agree.
He'll at least get to dress.
That's true. Drew, what do you think?
I would change the channel immediately.
Just total turn off.
He would just sit there and talk in cliches, You remember his press conferences when he was here in
The
Denver?
worst.
Awful.
The
He just-
worst.
So boring.
He would name every offensive lineman, every player, every wide receiver. Just like, dude, we get it. You know everybody on the roster. Like, let's move on. No, he'd be awful.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what it looks like on Sunday. All right, wait until you hear what is being said on Boston Sports Radio when it comes to the Patriots and Broncos home field advantages and going for the number 1 seed. You'll hear it next.
Join Denver Sports 1043 The Fan at Blue Sports Stable in Superior for our Denver Sports Equipment Drive, benefiting Recruiting Classroom. We're taking donations of new or gently used sports equipment through December 20th. Head to denversports.com/equipment for a list of drop-off locations and most needed items. And help us spread some cheer this holiday season.
Thinking about buying a home in Colorado? You're not the only one. And now might be your best shot. We're officially in a buyer's market, guys, which means you've got the upper hand. More homes on the market, competition is down, and serious deals are out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade or downsize, now's the time to get pre-approved. And American Financing can make that happen in 24 hours or less. Interest rates are competitive, and home prices have been stable. That means you can find a great deal while locking in a monthly payment that fits your budget. Plus, with home equity building over time, your investment grows, making home ownership a smart, long-term financial decision. If you continue to pay rent, you're just paying your landlord's mortgage, and you don't need 20% down. You could be in your new home with as little as 3% down. Plus, they offer down payment assistance programs to make home ownership even easier. So call American Financing at 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Hey, Stoke here. If you need a hip or knee replacement surgery, check out Colorado Joint Replacement. They're home to some of the top trained surgeons in the state using the latest technology. Their expert surgeons offer the most innovative joint replacement care in the Front Range. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
If you haven't filed taxes in a while, listen up. The IRS is going after non-filers, in some cases criminally. Advanced Tax Solution can help you avoid trouble with the IRS. Call 303-753-6040 or visit advancedtaxsolutions.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, rolling downhill here on a Thursday. Richie Carney filling in for Phillip Lindsay today. We're going to play trivia here in about 15 minutes. All right, so you're not going to want to miss that. But first, man, I'm interested in this stuff. Have been for years, and oftentimes, we'll have a guest on before a game and from another market, and I'm like, hey, what is the tone? That'll often be one of my first questions. Like, what is the tone in your market when talking about the Denver Broncos?
What is the perception of X from the outside? Because we don't have the luxury of viewing it from that perspective ever.
Yep. And so I'm curious about this conversation of the number 1 seed and the Patriots and the Broncos, and we've begun to have these conversations here over the last week or so, and it's like, hey, where would you rather play this team and that team and all this stuff, right? And both teams want the same damn thing, and we don't know how it's going to play out. So those conversations are happening there in Boston. Here is a taste of what it sounds like. This is on a very popular show, Felger and Maz, all right, on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Here's a quick snapshot of Boston radio. You had this juggernaut forever called WEEI.
Yep.
They ran Boston radio. And then you had this competitor really pour resources into trying to compete with them called 98.5 The Sports Hub. Well, not only have they competed with them, they now have them in a headlock. And that's been the dynamic for probably, 5 to 7 years now. So this is, I believe they're the afternoon show, Felger and Mads. They're the number 1 afternoon drive show in Boston, the same way that The Drive right now is number 1 in Denver sports talk radio.
Bang.
So here is a bit of the tone of conversation in Beantown on Felger and Maz talking about the dynamics between the Patriots and the Broncos.
Would you rather play Kansas City at home or have to go to Denver?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Kansas City at home. This is the first time ever of the Patrick Mahomes era that I can say I don't know about the Chiefs right now. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
We all know Patriots fans want to crap all over the Chiefs. So on the one hand, you want to say, Kansas City sucks, 5-5. They're going to miss the playoffs. I respect Kansas City. I'd rather play them in Foxborough than Denver and Denver.
Oh, yes, totally.
I'm not coming at this from the Chiefs completely stink. Mahomes is done.
I'd rather face Denver and Foxborough than Kansas City and Foxborough.
Our whole lives, that stadium in Denver is a house of horrors, and even during the Brady heyday. So I don't want any part of that place. And that defense is ridiculous, and I want no part of it.
Think about what's best for the Patriots.
Right.
What's the best outcome?
Then the outcome yesterday was not good because you want to get the number 1 seed. And Denver winning the game hurts you a cause to do that.
How about that level of respect from Boston sports personalities when talking about these damn Broncos?
I love it. I love it because, listen, the Broncos have not been in a position to be spoken about that way by anybody for almost a decade now. And the fact that this whole thing has flipped on its head in a span of a season and a half with Bo Nix and Sean Payton kind of coming together is just a validating sign from the outside, not manufactured from you or me or anybody here in the media, the fan base, whatever. It's not a homer thing. These guys have no loyalty or affiliation or ties in any way.
Correct.
And no reason to give a bone to the Denver Broncos for anything. And they are, and they're doing it emphatically.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
I'd rather play Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, who've been on an 8-year dynastic run, been to 3 straight Super Bowls. I'd rather bring them into our barn than have to go to Mile High and face that defense with that crowd at that altitude.
Correct. And then to hear these Boston sports radio hosts refer to Empower Field at Mile High as a house of horrors. You know, and so it's really cool. We're not done. We have one more clip. This is the voice of Tony Maserati, all right, of Felger and Maz on 98.5 The Sports Hub, giving his take on what Patriots fans should be thinking.
If you are a Patriots fan and you were, in my mind, you were rooting for Kansas City to lose yesterday, I think you're an idiot. I think you've got to ass backwards. So what, the Chiefs suck, we hate the Chiefs, but you don't want to play them because you're afraid? So they can't suck that much. You're still scared of Patrick Mahomes coming in here and beating your ass in a playoff game. So you'd rather Denver win and go to Denver? I think that's asinine. Do you understand what the Patriots' record has been in Denver historically? Let's just stop at 2000 or 2001. The year Brady became a starter. The Patriots are 4-7 against the Broncos in 11 meetings against Denver. They've
86.
never won a playoff game in Denver. Never. Not once. Brady went in there 3 times and lost all 3. And you want to go in there with Drake May against one of the best defenses in the league? It's idiotic.
By the way,
that is so good. He's digging their own quarterback.
What a stray for Drake May.
And it's so good. It's so good because Drake May is having his first good season. And it's actually like, and first of all, Drake May's awesome. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Drake May's awesome. But when you have a host in your own town in which you play, putting enough respect on the Broncos that he would use Tom Brady and then Drake May as a point of reference of why you can't come to Denver and win is freaking the highest level of respect that you will hear in an opposing market.
That is awesome. Because, listen, Drake May, statistically speaking, like Matthew Stafford's getting a lot of the hype and deservedly so, but like there are people out there who are calling for Drake May to get real MVP consideration.
Correct.
And it's deserved, in my opinion.
He's the favorite right now, Richie.
Is he the odds-on favorite?
Drake May is the favorite to win NFL MVP.
Wow. And there's easy evidence to point to as to why. He's been playing great.
He is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. Highest completion percentage. Not Stafford, not Mahomes, not Allen, no one. It's Drake May.
And with that, in a city like Boston, with the tradition of winning that they've established and the great quarterback that has, dominated the sports landscape, or did, in Tom Brady for 20 years, they feel like they've got a rising up-and-comer with all that in Drake May, and even still, they're like, no, let's stay away from Denver. And Power Field's not good to us.
I rarely do this, but I actually want to hear it again.
If you are a Patriots fan and you were, in my mind, you were rooting for Kansas City to lose yesterday, I think you're an idiot. I think you've got to ass backwards. So what, the Chiefs suck, we hate the Chiefs, but you don't want to play them because you're afraid? So they can't suck that much. You're still scared of Patrick Mahomes coming in here and beating your ass in a playoff game. So you'd rather Denver win and go to Denver? I think that's asinine. Do you understand what the Patriots' record has been in Denver historically? Let's just stop at 2000 or 2001. The year Brady became a starter. The Patriots are 4-7 against the Broncos in 11 meetings against Denver. They've
86.
never won a playoff game in Denver. Never. Not once. Brady went in there 3 times and lost all 3. And you want to go in there with Drake May against one of the best defenses in the league? It's idiotic.
It's really good is what it is. It's good. And someone on the RamosLaw.com text line says, did you hear them say they'd rather play the Broncos in Foxborough than the Chiefs in Foxborough. That was the previous clip. Yeah, and guess what? Here's the reality. I think most teams would rather play the Broncos in their home stadium as opposed to the Chiefs coming in.
For all the exact same reasons that the second clip laid out.
Correct.
The House of Horrors, the home field advantage to add on to that vaunted defense. Yeah, they're all tied together. And I think that's them saying they'd rather play the Broncos than the Chiefs in Foxborough was centered around the fact that they think it's important to get the number 1 seed.
Correct.
For those exact reasons.
Correct. So, man, it is it's a fun time right now. It is a fun time to be a member of Broncos country. It's a fun time to be doing this job, and because it feels like all things are possible. But conversations like those that you didn't realize were happening are happening in a city like Boston, based on a team like the Patriots, who currently have the number 1 seed. We'll see how it all plays out. Okay, we are going to play trivia. Our morning show set an extremely high bar, going 4-0. Is there context to why that happened? We'll discuss. Also, we will put our differences aside, bind together, and play trivia coming up next.
Have the Denver Broncos proven they're capable of making a deep playoff run?
If you can be successful in one-score games, if you can find ways to win different games, fourth quarter comebacks, overtime win, putting a complete game together, 60 minutes of offensive football, that's what the Broncos have done. They've shown us 5-6 different ways they can win a football game so that you get to yourself in a playoff scenario.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Here's Denver's champion wide receiver, Benny Fowler, with Shayna and Dylan Williams.
Benny, when you caught that pass for the 2-point conversion at the end of the 2015 World Championship game, did you realize you were making Denver football history?
And that was one of the final historic career passes of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
No, when you're in the moment, in the flow, you just go. You're trying to execute. It didn't sink in at first, but then it hits you, and then you feel so blessed.
You made Denver football history.
Well, I just did my job. You guys make history every holiday season at Williams Jewelers.
How so, Benny?
Every gift from Williams Jewelers on Christmas morning is historic. I can promise you, they'll never forget it. Friends, this holiday, go see my jeweler, Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, and you will make a little history too. And hey, tell them Benny sent you.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life. Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, on the corner of Bellevue and Broadway, where Colorado shines.
For the fitness fanatic on your Christmas list, save big this holiday season. At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
Okay, guys, the holidays are here, and you need a gift for your wife or that special lady, something really nice yet affordable. Hey, Mark Schlereth here with a terrific idea. This year, buy her a gift package to Beau Visage Skincare and Spa. They specialize in wonderful services like fabulous European facials, soothing therapeutic massage, and much, much more. But guys, let's be honest, you can buy a facial or massage anywhere. But at Beau Visage, you're not just buying a service. Instead, you're bringing your guest a true luxurious spa experience. Believe me, this place is great. And you'll never go wrong buying a gift package to Beau Visage. Plus, all their packages are very competitively priced and easy shopping. All you have to do is call them at 303-779-5002 or find them online at bvspa.com. This holiday, give her the gift of rest and relaxation, a luxurious gift of Beau Visage. Call them today, 303-779-5002 or bvspa.com. That's bvspa.com.
Select Health, how can we help?
Representative.
I'm ready to answer any questions you have.
Representative.
I'm Sam.
Representative.
It sounds like you said representative. One moment. Select Health, how can we help?
Finally. Hi, I have a question on copays.
I can help with that.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health, insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
You know that feeling when you catch a glimpse in the mirror and think, hey, I look 10 years younger. That's what happens when you stop dieting and start doing Soda weight loss.
I tried point counting, calorie counting, shots, and nothing has worked until Soda weight loss.
Soda weight loss gives you a personal nutritionist you can text anytime.
Everybody's great here. Everybody's encouraging. There were some times where I felt down and they brought me back up. If you stick with this program, you will lose weight and you will get to your goal weight.
When you sign up for Soda weight loss, your partner joins for free.
If you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and yes, look and feel 10 years younger, this is your moment. No meds, no gimmicks, just real results with real support.
Remember, sign up now and your partner joins for free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Woodley's Fine Furniture, specializing in custom upholstery, solid wood, and the most comfortable leather furniture imaginable. You will not find better built furniture than at Woodley's. Visit woodleys.com today.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan, powered by Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD3, DU Hockey skates with Miami, pregame starting at 6:30. Saturday morning on 104.3 HD3, DU Women's Basketball faces Idaho with pregame starting at 11:30. On The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams, CSU Basketball faces CU with pregame starting at 2:30.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at WistaraCU.com.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, 4 o'clock on a Thursday. This is when we play a little trivia. Our morning show went 4-0 this morning. That is impressive. Little controversy behind the scenes, just how attainable Dante made the questions. Drew came up with a question that was how many. There are 5 logos in the NHL that a hockey stick is in the logo. And so Drew asked me that question last week when we were sort of strategizing. I think I got 4 of the 5. Dante, you asked them to get 3 of the 5.
I did.
What was your thinking there in lowering the bar for the morning show?
Asking for 5 is ridiculous.
What about 4 of the 5?
3 felt like the right number.
I mean, 3?
Yeah.
3 that's a layup.
Well, so basically what happened was I asked them about, there was a question like weeks ago about college and NFL stadiums sharing a stadium.
Yeah.
And I asked for all 5. And the next morning, I regretted asking for all 5, and I said I wish I asked for just 3 of the 5. And so I fixed it around this turn. I said instead of asking for all 5, I'm going to do 3 out of the 5. Learning from my mistakes.
I agreed with you that it shouldn't have been all 5 with the college stadiums that share with the NFL. That's tough. But, man, lowering it to 3.
It's just a matter he didn't want to hear them complain about his question because they tend to do that a lot with Dante's questions.
Of course, yes.
I want a documentary on this dynamic, by the way, like the ownership of trivia on this show. I mean, Dante's been on the trade block at one point.
He has.
You have reclaimed control and then relinquished it. There's been this ongoing dynamic. There's questions that get submitted by the other members of the show that just never leave the cutting room floor, and no one ever knows what happened to him.
We're literally talking about a question that someone else on the show brought up.
I want a documentary. I want a documentary on this saga that's trivia.
Hopefully it doesn't end in a murder. With that being said, Dante Gomez, hit the music.
Question number 1. Got an NBA draft question for you. Who was the last high school player to go number 1 overall in the NBA draft?
Whoa.
LeBron was early 2000s.
So,
LeBron was 03.
So this was very in vogue in the late 90s and early 2000s, where it was Kevin Garnett was a top pick in 96, Kobe Bryant out of Lower Merion High School in 97. Obviously, LeBron in 03. We had
Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown was a top pick, I think in 2005, 6. Then you had Dwight Howard coming out of South Atlanta Christian Academy, Saka, number 1 pick. That is flirting with around the time because they eventually, David Stern shut it down.
We just needed to be post 2003 then, right? If it's sooner than LeBron.
Yeah, because what was happening, though, is you had so many high school kids declaring for the draft, thinking that they're going to get drafted, and were losing their eligibility. And I remember there was a kid, James Lang, who they were calling like Baby Shaq, and some mock drafts had him going like in the top 5, didn't get drafted at all, no eligibility, nowhere to go. I mean, it was just a nightmare.
Well, Durant was number 1 or 2 in, what was that, 07?
Yeah, but he went to Texas.
No, I know. I'm saying so it has to be before that, but after LeBron. I'm saying like the window we're looking for here.
Trying to put a ceiling and a floor on it.
So,
when was Dwight Howard drafted?
He had to be like 07, 08 maybe?
But
after KD?
Real quick, why I'm struggling. Why did we bring up KD?
Well, because we're talking about the era that you can get drafted straight out of high school. Kevin Durant was one of the first one and dones.
Got you. Okay.
I'm putting a ceiling on it.
I got you.
Had it.
I got you.
Don't worry about it.
What about like Sebastian Telfair? Was he number 1 pick?
He did not go number 1. So Dwight Howard. Gosh. Can we think of any other high school pick that was number 1 not named Dwight Howard and after 2003?
I like Dwight Howard as the answer.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll roll with it. Yeah, I said LeBron was the only one in recent, post 2000 that came to mind, so that wasn't even on my radar.
Okay. We'll go with Dwight Howard.
What? Do you not like it?
No, I'm just. Are we missing something? Was there like a?
Am I right in thinking KD was 07, right?
KD was 07.
Yeah, KD was 07. Greg Oden went number 1.
Yes.
So we're looking at a 3 or 4 year window.
Yeah, so it has to be either 04, 05, 06.
And
it's those 3 years.
We think Dwight Howard fits in that 3 or 4 year window.
Yeah.
I don't think you overthink it. I think
Okay. Let's go Dwight Howard. Final answer. Send it in.
Send it in, Jerome! Answer, Dwight Howard.
Let's go.
There we go.
Fist pump here. Let's go. Give you the high school even on top of it for some sprinkles.
Saka.
Let's go. Question number 2.
Question number 2 from college basketball. Which 2 current college basketball coaches are tied for 5th place all time with 59 NCAA tournament wins?
So he said they're current?
Current. 5th.
And they're currently 5th. Tom Izzo.
I was going to say, I think I know that Tom Izzo is 5th. I don't know who he would be tied with, but he's right in that range, Izzo is. If he's not.
Ideas.
What about John Calipari?
Patino.
Yeah, Rick Pitino is a good one.
Mark Few, Gonzaga. Does he have that many? Does he have enough? I mean, they've had a heck of a run for 25 years.
They have. Now, typically Gonzaga falls short in the tournament. But also we have to think about like Rick Pitino vacated wins or John Calipari vacated wins at Memphis and UMass because of Marcus Camby. So I don't think it's Cal.
I kind of do, though.
Do you?
Because I think that this was when Michigan State, when Izzo and Cal squared off not that long ago, they were doing a lot of like, because they're good friends and they were talking about comparisons. I think there was some kind of thing tying them together with tournament success.
So even after vacated wins at UMass and Memphis? Because the whole Derrick Rose thing?
Are we counting vacated wins? Or are they counting vacated wins?
I would assume because they count on the all-time list.
Call me crazy, but 59 for both those guys seems low. Like for
it does.
For Izzo and Cal, like
it does.
It feels low.
And it was NCAA tournament wins, right?
I'm really confident in Izzo.
So you're saying like they're higher on the all-time list?
I would think, right?
Aren't they the highest active, though? Was that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Active.
Yeah, so there's nobody active that is more.
Than Izzo and Calipari.
Well, then the two answers
that we're looking for here. And
Okay.
I feel confident that Izzo, when you're talking about all time, because you're right, active, I think Izzo is at the top.
He's going to be the top, I believe.
So I think all time, I feel really confident that he is right there. I would feel more confident in Calipari than Rick Pitino.
What about like Bill Self?
Kansas.
He's won a lot of tournament games.
He has. And here's the thing, too. Pitino had wins vacated as well at Louisville.
Yep.
I mean, Kelvin Sampson, he's won a lot of tournament games.
He has at Oklahoma and Houston. Yeah.
Calhoun's not coaching anymore, is he?
No.
I can't shake the fact that when Michigan State and Arkansas played, and it was Izzo versus Coach Cal, that they were talking about things that tied them together and that they're great friends, and they were playing clips of them talking about each other.
I remember this. They were doing the sit-downs.
Yes. Again, I feel really confident about Izzo. I don't know about Cal, but that would be my official vote.
Are we going to let a guest of the show?
Do you get this kind of contribution from the person that normally sits in this chair?
We do not.
Yeah.
We do not.
You know what? Okay. All right. You know what?
Although Phil will come in telling us he knew the answers.
Right.
Like he said he knew that the name of Brian Greasy's dog was Bella. Just unbelievable lies.
I have sat in your chair on trivia days and been overly passive on things that I thought I had the right answer and we didn't get it right. Let me call my shot on this. Ride with me on this one, and let me try to earn my stripes back here.
I'm good with it if you guys are.
We'll keep drawing up the play.
If you don't, you owe me something out of the vending machine.
Bet. Done. Let's do it. That's
right.
fair.
Wait, so
That's
we're doing.
fair.
I loved Izzo, so we're doing Cal over Pitino, though.
Apparently.
Okay.
Send it in.
We're going.
It's a win-win.
We're going Tom. We're going Tom Izzo.
I'll leave my card like Phil.
Zach, give me a little bit of whatever you get out of it.
Yes, we'll split the tuna.
How many Uncrustables are in there?
We'll split the radio dinner, which is the tuna and the crackers. We'll go Tom Izzo.
Oh, this is gonna be so embarrassing if I'm wrong.
And John Calipari, send it in.
Send it in, Jerome! Answer: John Calipari and Tom Izzo.
Bam! Give me knuckles on that. Great job.
Come on!
2-0. 2-0. Let's go. All right. When we come back, we'll finish up trivia. There's also something happening within the Broncos right now, and I think it's flying under the radar, and we'll change that coming up next.
Is Alex Singleton playing his way toward Broncos immortality?
He signed a 1-year, $1 million contract, and then all he does is goes on to set the single-season tackle record, and then he blows out his ACL. He comes all the way back, gets flagged for cancer, and then 23 days later, he's back making big plays for the Broncos? This guy is a legend in my book. He is becoming a Denver Broncos legend.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire it back, then do what I did and go see Dr. Tanya Pauls at Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can personally attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Pauls, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver, and they've changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. Become inspired with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
After a car accident, you might wonder, do I really need a lawyer? But at Postman Law, we go beyond the courtroom. We're your single point of contact for insurance, medical bills, and doctors. Get the outcome you deserve without the headache.
Call 844-POSTMAN. Attorney Advertising.
Hellsberg Gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people.
Shop in-store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Jim, it's late in the half here at Empower Field, and things are coming down to the wire at the concession stand.
Nachos are a solid choice, but Grant needs to finish strong here.
He scans his wallet and pulls out his Broncos checking debit card for 10% off.
Wow, savvy move. And with no surprise fees, he won't regret this order.
I don't know, Jim. That's a lot of cheese. Bank like a Bronco with Broncos checking from Int Credit Union. Insured by NCUA. Membership required.
Red Rock Roofing. Red Rock Roofing stands for greatness, which is why their free inspection videos offer you valuable knowledge and peace of mind about your Red Rock roof. Red Rock roofers use only the finest roofing materials on the market, installing roofs that'll stand up to all Colorado weather, and they'll even upgrade you to impact-resistant shingles at no cost. Call 720-735-ROOF. Visit redrockroofing.com. Red Rock Roofing.
Standing for greatness. What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? Imagine putting those 2 payments in your pocket ahead of the holidays. That's possible when you call American Financing. If you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, groceries, gas, bills piling up, you're not alone. Most Americans are putting these expenses on credit cards, and credit card rates are insane, in the 20s or even 30s. American Financing can show you how to use your home's equity to pay off that debt with rates in the low 5s. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loans and save money every month, all without upfront fees. Their customers are saving an average of $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 raise without having to change jobs. Call now before it's too late at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Whatever you're looking for when you head out into the wild, keep an open mind. Sometimes the real treasure is the journey itself. Sure enough, there's treasure out there. Sometimes it's something you didn't expect to find. And more often than not, it's as simple as the memories you make. Make some memories of your own with a new vehicle from Corwin Toyota. Family driven for over 100 years.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Hey, Stoke here. At Colorado Joint Replacement, your hip or knee replacement surgery is their first priority. They completed over 27,000 joint replacements since 2005, and their expert surgeons are committed to helping you get back to the life you love. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, let's finish up trivia here. A perfect 2-0. And I'll also want to get into, there's something happening within the Broncos right now, and I think it's flying under the radar a little bit. And I want to change that. But let's finish up trivia here. 2-0, battling adversity, trying to match our morning show, who went 4-0 this morning with a lowered bar from Dante. I'm just giving context.
Zach, you can do all the questions next week.
I did some of them.
You've said that before.
I did some of them.
No, I know you do. I know. But if you want to rag on my questions, you can do all of them.
All right. Well, it was Drew's question. It wasn't your question.
It was Drew's question, but you guys are mad that whatever.
I thought it was a terrific question.
It was a terrific question.
It was way too hard to ask for 5.
You could ask for 4 instead of 3. There's a middle ground. Hey, we live, we
3
learn.
was the middle ground.
Yeah, woosah. Listen, we got 2 more questions to win here.
We move forward. Dante Gomez, hit the music.
Question number 3 from the NFL. Christian McCaffrey currently has over 800 yards rushing and 800 yards receiving, on pace for 1,000 yards in both categories. Name the 3 NFL running backs who have put up 1,000-yard seasons.
Okay, so
Christian +2.
So it's Christian, right, who did it with the Carolina Panthers.
Yep, on pace to do it again.
It is in the early 2000s, Marshall Faulk went crazy in both phases, and I believe he went for 1,000. And
he was the Ram, right?
Yep, St. Louis Ram, greatest show on turf,
right,
along with Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce, Kurt Warner, and all those guys. And then the other one, I believe, was from the 1980s and on the San Francisco 49ers.
Roger Craig?
And I think his name was Roger Craig.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is the answer to this question. And in fact, I think I know that's the answer to this question. It's Christian McCaffrey, it's Marshall Faulk, and it is Roger Craig.
Wait, so McCaffrey counts as a second answer as well?
Well,
yeah, he tried to be deceptive.
Yeah. He didn't say, who are the other 2? But Christian McCaffrey, he acknowledges did it, then says name the 3 running backs that have done it.
He said C-Mac's on pace to be 1,000. Who are the 3 players who did it before?
Oh, yeah, so he didn't give you the fact
No.
Yes, he obviously
being sneaky.
Did it. Yes,
he's being sneaky. Sneaky Mike. All right, so let's go Christian McCaffrey, Marshall Faulk, Roger Craig. Final answer, send it in.
Send it in, Jerome! Answer, Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk, and Christian McCaffrey.
Well done. Let's go.
Let's go, boys. Just I'm just holding the follow through up. You just hold it like pedaling back on defense, like the follow through is just still hanging there. All right, let's go. Final question here, 3-0.
Question number 4, your curveball question. Which of these companies are the oldest? Is it Levi's, Nintendo, Sears, or Coca-Cola?
It can't be Nintendo.
No, there's no way.
I know they had a rise to popularity, or they were around before their rise to popularity, but Sears, Coca-Cola,
or Levi's. Okay, man. These are really old companies. But Sears goes way
Sears is like
back.
the 1920s.
Sears, and I think Sears.
I think Coca-Cola
is
is too.
I think Sears is old. I would have said Sears is older than Coke. I would have.
I mean, Coke goes way back to the point where they're putting that booger sugar right in the cola.
Can I ask?
Give me a little kick in the pants.
I looked it up one time because I was going to do a question kind of similar to this, and I can't remember when it was, but I want to say it was anywhere from 1900 to 1925.
Can I ask
about Coke?
Yeah.
Potentially dumb question. What's older than denim? Right? Levi jeans and denim as a material and a fabric, like textiles.
Yeah.
I think that could be a sneaky one that's older than you think.
I have not heard the word textiles in a very long time.
He also used the word denim instead of jeans.
He did.
Well, what are jeans made of, Drew?
Man. This is
good.
good
To deal with, Richie?
This is good. Nintendo wasn't in some other form of business before they went to a technology company, did they?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
and it's from another country, so who knows? But they're older than whatever like the rise to popularity was. I guess that would have been like maybe like the late 80s, early 90s.
Is this like the ultimate trick question? Is this Nintendo? And they used to sell like
TVs or
but even the radio wasn't invented.
No. I'm saying pre-technology, like they sold like dolls or something like that.
Yeah, and they just branched off. I mean, that's exactly the kind of step that they would want you, the trap they'd want you to step in.
I just feel like we can't guess Nintendo.
Levi's makes sense from jeans going back to
it's a quality textile.
Any thought there, Drew?
I lean towards Sears, man, because I feel like that was like the first department store.
Did they sell jeans at Sears?
Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, Sears Roebuck.
I like Levi's.
I'm gonna lean Levi's. What's older than denim? Hopefully not Sears.
Coca-Cola? Sneaky?
Very sneaky. Not even that sneaky, actually.
Was Coca-Cola pre-Great Depression?
It might have been.
I would think.
So 1910s?
Yeah, I think. Look, we're not going to learn anything new here. We're just trading thoughts.
I'm with Dante. My official vote would be Levi's.
I think we're outnumbered.
Okay, yeah. Let's go Levi's.
Well, I want it on the record what you guys want to have as the answer, though.
I'm going with Sears.
Where they sold jeans.
I'm going with, oddly enough, Nintendo in some bizarre
This is the
circumstance.
Nebraska sand dunes.
Yes, it's in some bizarre circumstance where it's Nintendo, but we're outvoted. It's Levi's. Final answer. Send it in.
Send it in, Jerome! Answer: established in 1853, Levi's.
Let's go!
Wow.
Let's go! 4-0! 4-0! 4-0! Let's go! Yes! Yes! Fantastic.
Never a doubt, Dante.
Well, me and Richie went 4-0.
Hey.
You guys went
No,
3-1.
Hey, you want to be back on the trading block? You want to be back on the block?
Hey.
Locker room cancer?
Locker room cancer. Having a Tom Izzo-related question definitely helped my credibility here.
Hey, man, this is why we're a team. This is why they can't separate us. They try to pry us apart. It'll never work.
You tried to pry
I don't remember that. I don't remember any of that. All right, so there's something happening within the Broncos right now. It's flying under the radar. Also, we saw something historic last night happen in Denver sports. We'll get to it all next.
Does David Adelman need to take a page from his predecessor's playbook?
When you look and listen to David Adelman, do you feel like you are looking and listening at a guy that's going to be able to get on guys and do so in a way that they're going to respond? Malone can be intimidating.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can Adelman get the message across when the effort is bad?
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
You have friends who care about you, who look out for you. We consider you our friend. So what I'm about to share is important. This is Glenn Jamron. I'm president of Alpine Bank, member FDIC. Your holidays are hectic. Thieves know that. These crooks spend all day trying to scam, cheat, and rob others. Let me give you an example. You've heard of artificial intelligence. These crooks use AI.
About their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
If you don't think doing a quick and free check of your finances is worth it, let me share this recent customer story. Jason and Barbara H. from Denver called us wanting to see if they could save money. Credit was okay and there was a good amount of debts. Their fear was another lender they went to first, shame on them, told them yes in the beginning and then denied them during the process. When they called us, we not only approved the loan, we saved them $3,900 a month.
What? $3,900 a month?
Yes, this couple just saved $3,900 a month by calling U.S. Mortgages. And best of all, with our lowest rate for life guarantee, if the market improves in the future, even as little as 0.5%, they can redo the loan and increase their savings further without any lender or appraisal fees. You could be our next success story. Call 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. If you find yourself in a car accident, do not tell the insurance company you are fine. They will hold that against you even if you end up with medical bills 3 months later. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Welcome to Blue Sports Stable, Colorado's premier multi-sport destination. Their massive facility features ice rinks, indoor turf, basketball courts, golf simulators, fitness center, and restaurant, all under one roof. Perfect for families and groups with themed public skates, ice bumper cars, learn to play programs, birthday parties, corporate events, and team building activities. Open to everyone. Come play, skate, celebrate, and connect. Visit BlueSportsStable.com and follow @BlueSportsStable on Instagram. Blue Sports Stable, something for everyone.
Do you owe more on your car than it's worth? Don't miss the payoff reduction event at O'Meara Ford. Here's how it works. If your payoff's $17,000 at O'Meara Ford, it becomes $6,000. If your payoff's $14,000 at O'Meara, it becomes $3,000. If your payoff's $11,000 at O'Meara, it becomes $0. Or save thousands with 0% financing 72 months. Let O'Meara Ford reduce your payoff up to $11,000. Stock SUA 05503. Must qualify for all rebates.
For the fitness fanatic on your Christmas list, save big this holiday season. At Fitness Gallery, we have deals everywhere, up to 50% off. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins. We have you covered.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD3, DU Hockey skates with Miami, pregame starting at 6:30. Saturday morning on 104.3 HD3, DU Women's Basketball faces Idaho with pregame starting at 11:30. On The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams, CSU Basketball faces CU with pregame starting at 2:30.
one of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at wistaracu.com.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, as we roll along here, bottom half of hour number 3 here on a Thursday, could reach out and touch the weekend from here. Richie Carney filling in for Phillip Lindsay. We just went 4-0 in trivia, feeling fantastic. Also, got to tell you, there's something in the orange and blue coming to Empower Field in August. Zach Bryan is bringing his With Heaven on tour to the Mile High City. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan has your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show on August 13th. All you have to do is download the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app and click on the banner to enter. And if you would like to purchase tickets, head to denversports.com/orange for more information. There's a bit of something flying underneath the radar right now with the Broncos, and I just want to shine a light on it real quick. Do we realize that last Sunday, Courtland Sutton became the third fastest player in Broncos history to reach 6,000 receiving yards? Guys, the only two players that reached 6K faster than Sutton has are Rod Smith and Demaryius Thomas. Okay, Sutton also surpassed 700 receiving yards on the season, all right, with 5 games left ahead of him. He's just the fourth player in Broncos history to eclipse 700 receiving yards for a half decade straight. 5 consecutive seasons of at least 700 yards. And for me, considering, Sutton suffered that major injury, earlier in his career, for him to be as healthy as he has for 5 straight seasons is just, it's pretty cool. And this coming Sunday against the Raiders, if he gets to 62 yards receiving, he will pass Steve Watson, who played for the Broncos from 1979 through 1987. He'll pass Steve Watson, Sutton will, for 6th all-time receiving list. Pretty noteworthy stuff that's unfolding in real time.
Yeah, knocking on the door to being a top 5, receiver in Broncos history, and the hope and the expectation is that he will continue to climb that list. And it's exciting, Zach, and I couldn't be happier for him because, like Garrett Bowles, Courtland Sutton has been a mainstay and a reasonably productive player on a lot of really bad, unfortunate, mismanaged Broncos teams, and has not known a lot of winning to come along with even individual production and productivity.
Yep.
And now the two are kind of aligning. And I think that's really, really cool. And it adds to, another feather in the cap for a guy like Sutton, who is rising among the ranks of Broncos that have ever played his position.
Yep. Pretty cool, man. He's got a lot to be proud of. I just haven't heard it really discussed. And I have to say this too, and I've sort of been on this tip for, I don't know, probably 3 weeks now. But Sutton, in my opinion, for a passing offense that has been disjointed and at times can just simply sputter, going away from Courtland Sutton, I don't think helps that cause. Troy Franklin is being featured like a number 1 receiver right now. And just for a recent example, the last time the Raiders and Broncos played each other, which was just 2 games ago, Troy Franklin got 9 targets, 9, and produced 40 yards. For a frame of reference, Jackson Smith-Njigba leads the NFL in receiving yards. He gets 9 targets a game.
Right.
And he's the top receiver in the sport. I'm not saying, hey, don't feature Troy Franklin. I'm not saying that at all. But Franklin has more targets and significantly less yards than Sutton. There's a really simple answer. Courtland just produces more than Franklin. And Franklin, it could be, tantalizing. He's got the speed, and this is Sean's guy. But at the same time, I mean, one guy has 530 yards and the other has 711. The guy who has 530 has more targets, though. It just, it doesn't sit well with me.
And as another kind of added layer of context to what you just said, when you talk about a guy like Troy Franklin getting like 9 targets and getting out, or getting more looks than a guy like Courtland Sutton, there's only so many pass plays run in a game. Bo Nix is averaging like 35, 36 attempts per game this season through 12 games. So when you're looking at a guy getting 9 out of 36, that's 25%. So 1 out of every 4 throws is going to a guy that's not Courtland Sutton, who's your, wide receiver 1, the guy you paid and invested in, and is kind of a franchise player at this point. And I guess if I was to try to take a stab as to why, I think there's maybe a couple of different ways that you could go. One would be similar to a conversation we've had as it relates to Sean Payton and maybe, some vanity involved, right? Like RJ Harvey gets a lot of touches near the goal line and did so when J.K. Dobbins was healthy and running and averaging north of 5 yards a clip.
It's true.
So there's a narrative that says like, hey, J.K. Dobbins was signed by the Broncos, but RJ Harvey was drafted by Sean Payton.
And there's a difference.
That's his boy.
And one guy was on a 1-year, $2.5 million contract, and the other guy is the vision for the position.
Right. Sean Payton didn't draft Courtland Sutton. He in the front office paid him and extended him.
Yeah.
But they drafted Troy Franklin.
Yep.
And that's the engine that you want to keep moving.
Yep, it is. And this is a really not an apples to apples analogy. But
not saying that's the case. It's just a potential explanation.
Yeah, no, for sure. I understand what you're saying. Like when you're a drafted player under Sean Payton, that's like your biological football son.
Oh yeah, little Jordan Humphreys, best thing that ever happened to him.
When you inherit someone, even if you are a huge fan and extend them, that's your adopted son or stepson rather. Let's go with stepson. So yeah, is there something to that? There certainly could be. There certainly could be.
Just like I think there's something to, Zach, by the way, that you mentioned that the targets haven't translated to more receptions, yards, etc. for a guy like Troy Franklin. And it certainly doesn't feel like in critical situations, late in games, down in distances where it's got to have it and the lights are on, that Troy Franklin outproduces Courtland Sutton in those moments. So it kind of may be a situation where you have old reliable and maybe it's not the shiniest, newest toy that's in your toy box, but when you need it and it's a very specific deal, you know where to go with it.
Yeah. Can I tell you something right now that I've never shared with anyone?
I would prefer that, yeah.
You just said something to me. You said, and Zach, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? My last name's By.
Mm-hmm.
So you inadvertently said my whole name.
Okay?
When I'm in a social setting, oftentimes, like, so think about how many times you've said this in your life. When you're in a social setting and you're talking with someone but you don't actually know each other. Like, I'm Richie, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I go to do that, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm Zach, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, oh, what's your last name? By.
It's like it becomes who's on first.
I'm saying, yes, I have to say, if I say that, I have to rephrase and say, by the way, I'm Zach. It's just, again, no one cares.
That's
I know.
I didn't even realize that I said that.
I know, but I've been dealing with that like for 20 years of my adult life of like, being in these social settings and like having to choose my words like, well, don't say your whole name because, I'm Zach, by the way. Zach by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. We saw something last night in Denver sports that was historic. I want to shine some light on it. Also, let's take a look at the tale of the tape between the Broncos and Raiders. In addition to those things, the John Elway trailer for his documentary dropped, and it's going to give you chills. Now, you may be asking, how are you going to get to all this stuff
Where we at?
In the next segment?
Where we at?
I'm glad you asked. We are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive minutes of commercial-free sports talk coming up next.
It'll be fine by dusk, but I'm telling you, baby.
There's something in the orange and blue coming to Empower Field next August. Zach Bryan is bringing his With Heaven On tour to the Mile High City, and we want you there.
Let me go.
Download the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app and click on the contest banner to enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the hottest show of the summer.
We're having an all-night revival.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Cudarelli Vision. I wore glasses for a long time, but when I started needing reading glasses to see menus, text, read stats, to see my computer, I decided to go to Dr. Cudarelli at Cudarelli Vision for refractive lens exchange. It was a game changer for me, and it could be for you too. Join Dr. Cudarelli for a live webinar December 10th at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from Cudarelli Vision. This free webinar is the perfect opportunity to meet Dr. Cudarelli and have him answer all your questions about RLE, like what is refractive lens exchange? How is it different from LASIK or EVO ICL? Why can't you develop a cataract after RLE? Cudarelli Vision is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. He can tell you when it's your right time for RLE, like he did me. So register for the webinar at coloradorle.com. It's December 10th at noon. coloradorle.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season, with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Call 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
At Postman Law, we're not your typical personal injury firm. Our lawyers have argued and won at the United States Supreme Court. We've gone head-to-head with giant corporations like Uber and Amazon, and we've helped clients recover billions in verdicts and settlements. We bring that same firepower to every case, no matter the size. When you've been injured, having the right lawyer matters. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise, Postman delivers.
Call 844-POSTMAN. Attorney advertising.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from cardholder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America N.A. in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings Wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap GoodRx. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Planning out your holiday pictures? Let's move you to the front, because at Soda Weight Loss, you could drop the belly fat and gain your confidence back, just like Ramon.
I used to dread those pictures. I'd position myself behind someone taller or make sure I was holding a plate so nobody focused on my belly. But that was before Soda. Soda gave me more than a smaller waistline. It gave me back the confidence to wear what I want. And they make it simple. No injections, no hunger, just a plan that works.
Soda Weight Loss is built for busy people like you.
I lost 82 pounds in just 16 weeks. No hunger, no drugs, just steady, real-life progress with the nutritionist who helps you every step of the way.
That's why Soda has nearly 9,000 Google reviews. And right now, the most popular offer of the season is back. Join today, and your partner joins free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
It's Toyotathon at Groove Toyota, and our used lot is stacked. Choose from hundreds of used and Toyota certified vehicles, from Colorado-ready SUVs to reliable commuters, plus over 25 vehicles under $10,000. If you want selection and value, you won't find a better lineup anywhere else. Lock in your deal now before the clock runs out. Shop today online at GrooveToyota.com or on Broadway in Inglewood. Groove Toyota. Start here. Go anywhere.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
Winter evenings at Bellevue Station mean live music, happy hours, and cozy nights out. Make plans with friends and enjoy the season at Bellevue Station.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
There is a new trailer that dropped today on Netflix. And it involves one of the most legendary figures in Denver sports history.
Look at Richie bringing us in.
That's right.
I can be late.
That's right.
I can be late. Oh my gosh. How long were we back?
I don't know. Dante just kind of gave me the nod. 5 minutes. Yeah. We actually already played the trailer. It's a longer audio clip than we normally play, but we did get through the whole thing.
Oh my gosh. I want to just hit the pause button on the trailer just for a second.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you guys haven't heard this, there's a good chance you're going to get goosebumps.
I did.
Like legitimately. And we'll play it here in just a minute. All right. We'll look at the tail of the tape with Broncos Raiders. Okay. But also, we can't, and I know we talked about it in the first half of the show, but I'd be remiss if we did not take a second and appreciate what we saw from Jamal Murray last night.
Unbelievable.
Just flat out historic, okay? One, we didn't know Jamal Murray was going to play last night 2 hours before the game started. And quite frankly, if I'm just being honest, I don't know how you can't physically finish a basketball game. The previous game that was against the it was the bad loss against the
Mavericks.
The Mavericks, yeah, the 131-121 loss. Jamal could not finish the game physically, and then within 48 hours, you're dropping 52 points. It's hard,
showing no signs of slowing.
None.
And then admitting it. Hey, I felt great. There was no issues in warm-up, and I was feeling good.
It's just almost bizarre, like borders on the bizarre, that you physically could not finish a game on a Monday night, and there you are on a Wednesday night going for 50+. It's just nuts. It's the 8th most in the history of the Denver Nuggets, the 52 points. But last night was just the 9th time in NBA history a player scored 52 or more points with 5 or fewer free throws. That is so, and I know a lot of people think of SGA, but
Yeah.
it's not just him. It's been over the years, the Hardens.
James Harden was infamous for it. Yeah.
This is not Jamal Murray. Embiid for sure. This was not Jamal Murray baiting fouls.
Drifting.
He got to 52 in the most organic way possible. He missed 6 total shots on his way to 52 points. It almost is impossible to think.
91% from beyond the arc, 10 of 11, right?
10 of 11, 4 of 5 from free throw. So if you look at like true shooting, and I know basketball people are going to know this, but like true shooting percentage, it's an advanced stat that like basically it's intended to more like accurately calculate a player's shooting than field goal percentage. Because check this out, like if you go to shoot and I foul you and you go to the free throw line and you make both shots, you don't get any credit for going 1 of 1 from the field, even though you got fouled in the act of shooting. So true shooting tries to put it all together. Also, like 3-point field goals, those are worth more.
Weighted.
So yeah, exactly. It weights how you get your points. So when you have a night where someone goes 19 of 25 like Jamal did last night, 9 of 10 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, Richie, he had a true shooting percentage of 95%, making it the 5th most efficient 50 ball in the history of the sport that Dr. James Naismith came up with about 80 years ago, 100 years ago. So it's remarkable.
No, it really is. And I think that it's even more remarkable One, because of the fact that you kind of alluded to it, we weren't just having discussions about whether or not he was going to play. We were having conversations up and down all day about should he play?
Correct.
Should the Nuggets, should David Adelman put Jamal Murray out there in a game that you correctly pointed out he could not physically finish against the Mavericks? And we've seen with Jamal sometimes a molehill turns into a mountain.
Correct.
When it comes to injury and things snowball. Aaron Gordon with a similar thing. And so it was like, hey, is it worth risking with all the injuries you've already got on the table and everything that's at stake this season to potentially play Jamal Murray against a bad Pacers team and then hope that nothing happens? And they obviously went with that route, and it turned into one of the most unbelievable individual performances in NBA history.
Crazy. Just so fun. So fun. Right now, Jamal Murray, with his actions, is meeting the moment. And I'm not talking about a singular moment. I'm talking about this season in a way that he just didn't a year ago. Like, to say he didn't would be an understatement for probably 4 or 5 different reasons that I'm not going to itemize on a day like today. But, like, before this season started, I have never said, Richie, ever, in the 9 Nuggets seasons that I have covered here, I have never said Jamal Murray is going to be an all-star, ever. Mm-hmm. But I did this season. Because with his actions, I saw his body change. Like how, and again, it should be impossible, kind of like the ankle thing. It's like, how are you looking 10 to 15 pounds lighter before a season starts than you finished an NBA regular season?
Right. Gone through the gauntlet.
Should be impossible. But when I saw his body, I'm like, I've seen that body before. I saw it in 2023. This guy is going to be an all-star. And right now, he is making me look kind of smart because he's averaging a career high in points, a career high in assists, a career high in rebounds, a career high in threes made, a career high from the field, a career high from 3.
6 of the maybe 8 most important statistical categories, and I don't think any of them are 7 or 8 when it comes to evaluating an NBA basketball player. And you are starting at what year is this for Jamal now?
I think he was drafted in 15, 16.
Yeah,
so
we're coming up on a decade in the NBA, and he is kind of experiencing and producing at a level that he has yet up to this point. And it's kind of interesting that you bring up the weight fluctuations and kind of the conditioning aspect of Jamal, because when we talked about yesterday about using the P word, right, professionalism, and there was multiple iterations of Nuggets coaches and front office members who spoke about Jamal Murray using the P word as it related to his preparation and his conditioning level that he came into with a degree of seriousness into the season. And it's, I'm not going to draw a parallel between these two players, but Nikola Jokic's rise and ascension into the MVP, generational player that he is now started with a very similar kind of body transitional off-season.
Yeah, it's true.
Pudgy Jokic was a big thing. He can't jump over a piece of paper, and this and that and this and that. And then in that COVID season where they went on that magical bubble run, that season he had slimmed down. He was more athletic.
Big time.
And he made it a point of emphasis in the offseason, and it's what kickstarted his unbelievable MVP run into one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, do you remember when the NBA had shut down and the picture surfaced of Jokic and showing up to a Novak Djokovic, and we had not seen Jokic in a while, and it was like, wait, what? Is he sick?
Yeah.
I remember people asking that question, like, is he sick?
Right.
He lost so much weight.
Got to be a tapeworm involved.
but that's good. That it's very similar. Like, and I would look at Jamal the same way I looked at Jokic during, that time when I was, had first moved here 2017 and 18, and looking at him and saying the same thing repeatedly into the same microphone I'm speaking into now, saying, you cannot look like that and simultaneously tell me you've dedicated your life to the game of basketball. And when I looked at Jamal a year ago, in addition to some of this just stuff that he was up to off the court that was just unprofessional, I'm like, you're not all in. I'm seeing a version of a guy, and hopefully he can maintain it, but I'm seeing a version of a guy who's all in. And does that mean it's perfect on a night-to-night? No. But this is unequivocally, guys, the best start to his career ever. And so if that all-star thing is ever going to happen, it's right now. And he just had an NBA moment last night.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where, we've talked about it with the Colorado Avalanche too, like with the start of the season that they've had, right? Like if you don't make an appearance in the Stanley Cup final with the wagon of a team that you have and the positioning in the standings, specifically in the Central Division, which is just a monster with Dallas and Minnesota and Winnipeg struggling with their goaltending. But my point was, we talked about with the Avs, like if you don't make a cup run with this team and this start that you've had, when are you going to do it again? And so it's kind of the same thing with Jamal, right? If you're ever going to be an all-star and you're going to end that factoid of pain that Nikola Jokic, despite the greatness that he brings to the game of basketball, has never played alongside an all-star teammate despite being a champion, it's going to be this year that happens. Because if not, what are you going to draw from that's going to say he's going to have a career best performance through the quarter pole of a season again? You know what I mean? After he just did it, it's harder to imagine.
Well, it's super cool because I said earlier in the segment, it's the 9th time in NBA history a player has scored a 52 or more with 5 or fewer free throws. He's one of the 9 times. He's one of them already. This is the 2nd time that he's done this. And here's a crazy
wearing a jersey of the same hoodie you're wearing right now. I think
true.
That was back in that.
It's true. It's true.
COVID season.
Yep, and the hoodie I'm wearing is the black hoodie with the rainbow skyline, which is, for the life of me, I can't figure out why they just won't go back to the rainbow skyline jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just get something off my chest here.
Here we go. It's a safe space.
If you went around Mile High and said, hey, what are the 2 main colors of the Denver Broncos? What are the 2 main colors, Richie?
Blue and orange.
Blue and orange, right? If you went around Ball Arena before an Avs game and said, what's the colors of the team?
Burgundy and blue.
Burgundy and blue, right? If you go around the arena for a Nuggets game and ask 250 fans what the color of the Nuggets is, the official color, you would get way more answers than the simplistic, straightforward answers you just gave me.
Yep, so many variations.
It's too much. It's too much, and I understand the marketing of it, and you want to sell these different things and honor this different space and do that. Like, the team itself does not have a core identity of colors. And is it a big deal? Nah, not really. Like, is it my preference? But it's just like you guys have kind of gotten your own way here a little bit with the ever-changing. Every year it's a new uniform.
Yep.
And I don't
especially
know.
when you nail it like they did with you go to the original Rainbow Skyline jerseys, like the Dikembe era, kind of thing, those are great. But even the rendition that they have here with the midnight rainbow and the black and all that, and they had white alternates that first year as well.
Yes.
You could have just landed there. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time.
No. That's my preference. That's my opinion. The black with the rainbow on it goes the hardest. That's just me.
You said something you've never told anybody else in your life before, and you got that off your chest. This has been a therapeutic hour for you.
It has been. This is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By hanging out with Richie Carney, filling in for Phillip Lindsay today. And we are The Drive, rolling downhill, hour number 4 on a Thursday. Real quick, let me put a bow on that Jamal Murray thing before I got sidetracked with my own little sidebars. In NBA history, there are 3 players who have had multiple road games in their career going for 50 points on 75% shooting or better. Okay? Only 3 players ever had multiple road games in their career going for 50 and shooting 75% from the floor. The 3 players, Wilt Chamberlain,
naturally,
Michael Jordan, and Jamal Murray.
It's a hell of a list. That's the kind of company that Jokic normally keeps when we talk about these statistical anomalies.
Correct.
How about the fact that there have been 8 50-point games in this 2025 NBA season, and 3 of them have been in Nuggets uniforms?
Correct. And all 3 of them are of the most efficient variety of any season of any singular season. 3 different players going for 50 or more. It was Aaron Gordon, night number 1.
Mm-hmm.
It was Nikola Jokic. I forget who was against when he went for, I think, 55,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then Jamal last night. And they all shot an absurd percentage, getting their the organic way.
Each of them were north of 75% shooting, I think.
Yep. All right. Shifting gears here a little bit. The new John Elway documentary is coming out on Netflix. This is a Peyton Manning Omaha Productions project. You might have seen or heard about it because Elway's been out and about sort of doing some promotion for this documentary. And the trailer dropped today. And man, oh man. Obviously, it has visuals to it if you're watching it. But we're just going to play the audio because even the audio, and if you're able, obviously you're in the car, don't do this. But if you're able, maybe close your eyes and listen to the 2-minute trailer of John Elway's Netflix documentary.
John Elway, the most gifted quarterback to ever play in the National Football League.
I can still remember feeling that responsibility.
He can do it all.
And the expectation.
This is his 3rd loss in a Super Bowl.
I had to sacrifice everything to be the best.
Everything changed for Colorado in 1983.
Been the most spoken about name in American sports.
John Elway.
John Elway.
First time I saw him practice, I'm going, man, this guy's a freak.
He is going to be one of the greats of all time, I think.
He got the nickname the Duke of Denver.
The Duke of Denver.
Duke of Denver.
He's got the ball, touchdown.
He was shy, sweet. He's not neat and pigeon-toed. And all of a sudden, I'm dating this superstar.
His first year, I'd never seen anybody get beat around like he did. Everyone was expecting John was going to take us to the top right away.
With Dan's offense, it was different than I was used to.
Bam, bam, bam.
My head was spinning.
Was he overblown by the media?
Part of the growing pains of coming into the NFL.
People have no idea how hard this guy worked to be who he was.
For me, looking over the last 50 years, my whole life, winning was the most important thing. I think that was at the sacrifice to my family.
Depending on whether he won or lost, there was definitely a mood shift.
I used to be pretty intimidated with him.
This comes with the territory.
My parents' marriage was crumbling.
You really start to pick up on the gravity of the situation.
I got death threats.
All the focus and the media and everything was on John.
He helped a city transform itself. Well, let's be real. He was going to have to win a Super Bowl to be coronated. John took it personally. He had one goal.
The frustration level grew.
Before he's ever going to be considered a great quarterback, he has to win one of these things.
Those are the sacrifices that athletes make to be great.
Touchdown, Denver!
Greatness is more than just a performance on the field.
And my dad always said,
From Stanford,
you can't take the easy way out.
number 7.
So this was the moment.
Wow.
That is so awesome, man.
You can feel the gravity and the power of it, even in that 2-minute trailer. And quite frankly, when you heard some of it, some of the heaviness, of it, and talking about family and all of that. I think even if you are an Elway connoisseur or professor of Elway, I bet you're still going to learn something new in this documentary coming out later this month on the 22nd.
It would be almost impossible not to. I mean, and look at the collection of voices and input that you're getting there. Adam Schefter, obviously members of his family, his wife, Gary Kubiak, Shannon Sharp, every angle that you could look at the meteoric rise of, to use the words of the documentary itself, one of the most talked about name in American sports at the time. The Duke of Denver, the guy that draft analysts to this day, decades and decades later, say is the single greatest draft prospect they have ever evaluated.
It's true.
And he came here, and he put a city and a state and a sports community on the map.
Yeah, in a way that it's really hard to find other comps that meant more to the consciousness of our American sports in a way that just simply didn't exist before. Someone threw out earlier in the show LeBron James, to the city of Cleveland and that whole Ohio area.
Kid from Akron.
That's a really good one where we didn't really think about Cleveland sports.
No.
Not really. Unless your team was maybe playing the Browns, they'd pop on your radar, but they didn't have a footprint really in American sports the way that they did after LeBron James. I think it's just as big, if not bigger, for John Elway here in Denver and Colorado, the Rocky Mountain region, that here decades later, there is still no one really that comes close to the footprint of John. Not an entertainer, not a politician. He is a people say one of one. He is a one of none here in Colorado.
No, he really is. And just like the intrigue and the drama, the threat of professional baseball and everything with the Baltimore Colts. And then, they point out he goes from being the knock-kneed, pigeon-toed, whatever, and now he's a super megastar. And all he does for the beginning portion of his career is get his ass kicked on some bad Broncos teams and have to fight through the beating. The same way we see a lot of talented number one overall draft picks at quarterback have to go to these reclamation teams and try to lift it, and like Matthew Stafford, going to Detroit, which was one of the most downtrodden NFL franchises at the time.
And David Carr, the way he got knocked around, I think it's still the sack record for a rookie, getting demolished.
And he had to just take that beating in an era of the NFL where there was much less protection for quarterbacks and much less of an emphasis on player safety. And yet he found a way to drag some of those teams so much further than they could have ever imagined they'd go, including to Super Bowls where he would just get clobbered again. And then for it to kind of crescendo with the riding off into the sunset and winning the Super Bowls, finally having a team around him. And I don't know how far the documentary will go. I imagine that might be pretty close to the end of it. But everything that happened with John here after that is another documentary in and of itself.
And you're talking about from a general manager standpoint. I mean, it is. And it's so crazy, man. Because, you have Elway, who did everything that he did as a player. He goes out on top in a way that, still gets remembered. Dude, that was almost 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. That still gets reference of hey, could blankety blank go out on top like John Elway? And Peyton Manning also gets that.
It's a part of why he came here.
True. And so and then to sequence into a executive role and bring a team to a championship, get your head kicked in like you used to get your head kicked in, reshape the entire image of the team, go back to the Super Bowl and win it, and then pay back Mr. Bolin with this one's for Pat when he said this one's for John. You can't make up the story. It's next level. It's Disney caliber, truly, when you take a step back.
We talk about, when you talk about general managers, front offices, teams, organizations, etc., how hard it is to roster build. And you're not going to make all your hits. Not all your picks are going to be hits, and you're going to have your misses and darts, analogies, and this and that. John Elway, as a front office front man for the Denver Broncos, orchestrated, at the time, in my opinion at least, and I don't think I'm alone, the greatest free agent signing in the history of the NFL, bringing Peyton Manning here. Now, Brady coming later with the Bucs and all that, whatever. Builds the greatest statistical offense in many respects in the history of the National Football League. Gets destroyed in the Super Bowl, tears it down, and builds one of, if not in some people's minds, the best defenses in the history of the NFL with one season between the two historical anomalies. And he hoists a Lombardi trophy, and you said completes the arc that he helped start. So he's at the beginning and the end. He's the yin and the yang.
The alpha and the omega.
That was a good little add in there.
And I want to make sure I say this because we have to be respectful of history. There was the Denver Broncos before John Elway.
Floyd Little was the franchise.
The Floyd Little. There was the team in 1977 that went to the Super Bowl with Red Miller and going up against the Dallas Cowboys and in the Orange Crush. So I want to be respectful because I know there's an older fan base that say, hold on a second, the Denver Broncos didn't just start existing when John got here. But I think even those folks would have to imagine that it just went to another level. And this was, John Elway was part of my first football memories, growing up. That Super Bowl, I get given a hard time being a Bills fan. And my family's from Buffalo, and that's all good. It's fun. It's sports. But those weren't my first memories. Mm-hmm. I wasn't watching those Super Bowls in 91, 92. Like, I just wasn't. I was so young, and I was such a small boy. But once I did get a little bit older, the first Super Bowl I ever watched was the second half of Super Bowl 32 at our neighbor's house. My mom would still make us go to church. We go to church in the morning and in the evenings on Sunday.
A little double up.
Think about that, yes. And so, but coming home and being at my neighbor's house and watching the helicopter play, like that's a part of like a core memory of mine, watching football. And it's so crazy that, I have these Sports Illustrateds, and I brought them in a couple years ago,
I remember.
And I still have a stack of them. I probably have maybe 30 of the ones that are like most important to me.
Whittled them down a little bit.
Yeah, it was like the issue after 9/11, the Shaq and Kobe's dynasty, Michael Jordan's last game, and beating the Jazz in Game 6 of the finals. Like, I have all those Sports Illustrateds, and it's crazy that I was interested in John Elway and the Broncos to the point where I I have 3 of them saved. I have 3 old Sports Illustrateds saved, never knowing that at that age I would ultimately end up living in Denver and talking about the Broncos. Just so crazy. So anyway, I bow down. John's not perfect. We know that. Yep. As an executive, as a human being, he who amongst us without sin or fault cast that first stone, I'll wait. So I can't wait to watch this documentary.
I can't either. And I enjoyed the conversation we were having earlier about like other documentary-worthy figures, because the more you dig into it, the more you start to realize like Colorado has a ton of potential opportunities in that regard. And John is probably, certainly the most deserving of one that doesn't already have one in this setting, which is why I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and so I'm glad that you went there, because I threw it out there, and I want to throw it out there to the RamosLaw.com text line right now, okay? Who in Colorado sports do you believe, as an individual, not a team, as an individual would deserve their own documentary that currently doesn't have one?
I can kick one off for you, too, and I think it would be awesome, is Von Miller. I think that Von's, obviously his performance on the field, his being the highest draft pick in the history of the Denver Broncos, being drafted 2nd overall, rising to the point of being Super Bowl MVP, but so much of the drama and the different punctuation points along the way of his early tenure in Denver, and some of the potential suspension stuff and off-field stuff, the Halloween party stuff, just the character and the figure that he was, in addition to being one of the best pass rushers in the NFL during his tenure, I think would be fun.
Parts of it would be fun.
Yeah,
there's other parts
would be spicy.
if depending on how deep you wanted to go, because
it could create a spin-off Chad Kelly documentary about the vacuum tube and Woody.
Yes. I'm going to read some responses that I got here on Twitter, and you can still do that in the replies on Twitter. You can follow me at Buysline or the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. Seeing a lot of Jokic, right?
Unequivocally.
When it's all said and done, Jokic absolutely will be a documentary. The rise of this pudgy kid from the small town Sombor in Serbia,
and he'll never see it.
And he'll
he'll be.
You may be right. Someone, I'll just read a few of these. Rashaan Salam,
great,
and a dedicated documentary from Heisman Trophy winner, and obviously a very very sad ending. One for me. I would love to see the arc of a story about Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
His arrival to Denver. It was not supposed to happen. He thought he was going to be a Detroit Piston. He thought he was joining, once every 25 years or so, there's a team that is a championship caliber team who, by way of fortune or someone else's misfortune, ends up with a top pick. So this happened with the Boston Celtics with Len Bias coming out of Maryland, where you had a championship team who's about to inherit the best player in the draft.
Could happen again soon.
It could happen again soon. We'll get to that. But it happened. It was supposed to happen with the Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Larry Brown coached Pistons. Melo thought he was going to Detroit, to the point where he was literally with his own money buying Detroit Pistons gear. He was becoming obsessed with playing in Detroit. And then they go and take Darko. And he falls to Denver. And he becomes Denver's favorite son. And he is one of those popular players in the NBA and the face of the Nuggets, one of the faces of the league, and on the front cover of video games and the All-Star games here, and then the divorce. And what led, pull back the curtain all the way back, and let's get into some of the gory details and how the sausage was made during that period of time.
I would watch that with absolute reverence, excitement, intrigue. My family, my dad's side of the family, almost exclusively comes from upstate New York, right? And I've had 5 generations of my family graduate from Syracuse University. I did not get in, so I could not contribute to that trend.
Tough school.
But Carmelo was obviously my family were huge Carmelo Anthony fans from the college days. I literally have memories of myself playing basketball in my driveway, pretending to be Carmelo Anthony, hitting a buzzer beater shot, wearing a 15 Syracuse jersey, and then him coming to the Nuggets. So that would be awesome because of, again, the highs and the lows, the drama, the intrigue. One that I tossed out earlier that'll never see the light of day, but I would buy a subscription service to watch it, would be the back-to-back disappearing acts of Valeri Nichushkin in the Avalanche postseason. What went down in Seattle,
man,
and to kick it off, and then for it to happen again. I just think you had a team at the peak of its power with a championship core that was finally realized after so many years of failing to get out of the second round, and then the hopes of repeating consecutively just dashed by one player who was so critically important, and the drama that was around it.
That is a documentary that will never get made.
Nope.
But there probably wouldn't be a price tag that would be big enough that I wouldn't pay to watch it if it were made.
Yeah, I would download it. I would buy a new subscription to a streaming service to do it. Not to be be a little, brown noser, but I'll be honest. The guy who normally sits in this chair would be a fun documentary, I think. When you talk about a hometown kid rising the way that he did, Phillip Lindsay fighting and clawing through high school, getting to see you.
You got to remember the injury derail. He got offers pulled away, goes up to see. They honor he becomes the all-purpose leader.
Scrimmage yards.
Yep.
And then for him, too, with the draft process, the Broncos told him they were going to draft him. They draft David Williams. His mom is instrumental in him choosing the Broncos. He's living in his parents' basement as a professional athlete, and then he becomes the first undrafted rookie running back to rush for 1,000 yards in NFL history, and then does it again. He never fumbled. Phillip Lindsay would be a cool doc.
That would be a good one. Seeing Joe Sakic, seeing Peter Forsberg in the Eric Lindros trade, seeing Pat Bowlen, and how about a Pat Bowlen documentary or a Bowlen family documentary?
Oh my gosh, the Game of Thrones-esque, the rise and fall and the trust and all of that, the secret love child, and it's just that would be another one. That one might have to be like a multi-part installment, though.
Yeah.
That's not a sit-down 90-minute watch.
Someone said seeing a lot of Todd Helton, Todd the Toddlers, and that
Rocktober.
That could definitely qualify as its own documentary.
Especially because I don't know that you'll ever see a Rocktober run ever again. 21 wins out of 22 games, run through a postseason, get to a World Series.
Someone says Patrick Waugh, seeing a lot of Patrick Waugh. We need a Patrick Waugh documentary.
He had the personality for it. He's perfect.
Yeah. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay, those are some good ones. Man, like I'm seeing Charlie Blackmon, the Rockies' most interesting man ever. I would say I would be very interested in a Nolan Arenado.
Oh my gosh!
For the same reason about Melo, he's like he was your own son. No one ever walked into the National League and was 6 for 6 winning Gold Gloves for the first 6 years to start a career, and all the stuff that he did offensively, and then just how messy the divorce became. And so for the same reasons as the Melo, like if people were like, if Jeff Bridich were to speak on the record, if Nolan were able to speak on camera, and some of the people that were around that situation to truly bring us behind the scenes of why did it go down the way it went down? Because there was a report at a certain point in time that at the team headquarters, Nolan Arenado and Jeff Bridich were nose to nose. People down the hallway hearing them scream at one another. Like, that is a documentary that I would be wildly interested in as well.
That would be amazing. Yeah, because when you talk about, again, people, Charlie Blackmon, you mentioned one of the most interesting Rockies ever, and certainly like a fan favorite here with the outfield song and all of that. But like, Nolan Arenado was a weekly appointment viewing spectacle at his position. His athletic ability and what he was able to do out there in the corner was special. And it wasn't just special to us here and Rockies fans and Colorado sports fans. Everybody around the country that put their eyes on his film was like, wow, look at that guy.
Yeah. Here's another one. Floyd Little. A documentary on Floyd Little, the franchise. I think that, especially for us here regionally,
yes,
would be, I think, a big hit.
Has there been one? I don't think, maybe there hasn't been one. I don't know why I feel like there was something recently with him. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they were talking about moving the team.
Yeah.
Before him. That's how he got the nickname.
Literally.
He saved the franchise.
Literally. Again, seeing Forsberg, we did that. Mike Shanahan, that could be a fun one.
Josh McDaniels.
Oh, gosh.
Hurricane Josh.
Roy Halladay. That's one. I mean, there are a lot of fun Colorado topics here. Okay, keep them coming. We've got some just great suggestions here on the RamosLaw.com text line, and on, I'm seeing another one here for the first time that I hadn't seen. The Tim Tebow
mania.
Like, that season, that has national appeal.
Oh, yeah.
That has national appeal.
I can't believe there hasn't been an E60 on that. I mean, Tim Tebow, at one point, I think there's that famous PTI ticker out there where, like, Tebow, of their, like, 8 stories that they have on their little rundown where they go like 60 seconds each.
It was all Tebow.
Tebow was the entire block.
Because you were doing a disservice to your ratings when you had a chance to talk about Tebow and didn't.
I was in college. I went to Michigan State, and Jamel Hill was one of the more prominent alumni at the time. She was kind of at the peak of her ESPN days at that time, and she Skyped into one of my broadcasting classes as a guest speaker. And one of the college students that was in my class was trying to be snarky. We were asking Q&As, and he's like, "Why do you guys talk about Tim Tebow so much?" And her answer, bluntly, without even skipping a breath, was, "Because you watch it. Because you can say you don't like it, but the numbers say otherwise, and your behavior dictates otherwise.
Yep.
If you don't want everyone to talk about it, stop caring about it so much."
Yep.
And that's how it was.
Hey, here's another one that I think would play locally, regionally, and it's a bit of a curveball. Dave Logan.
Legend.
Dave Logan. Being drafted into the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball, going to play receiver for, a decade in the NFL, becoming the voice of the team, and winning, like everything that he's playing in another state championship, or he's not playing, he's coaching in another state championship on Saturday night up in Fort Collins.
5 schools with state titles that he's led. I think it's 5.
I believe so. It's just I think they're playing. I think Cherry Creek's playing. I think Ralston Valley on Saturday night up at Canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats to both of those teams and all the teams playing this weekend for such a great season. Okay, fun conversation, man. Fun conversation. Lasted longer than I had envisioned, but I do not regret having it. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape between Broncos and Raiders coming up next.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan at Blue Sports Stable in Superior for our Denver Sports Equipment Drive, benefiting Recruiting Classroom. We're taking donations of new or gently used sports equipment through December 20th. Head to denversports.com/equipment for a list of drop-off locations and most needed items, and help us spread some cheer this holiday season.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. The holidays will be here before you know it, and for many families, that means excitement, but also stress. Between gifts, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out if you qualify. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Dan Jacobs for 303 Law 4040, and I'm here with that beautiful voice you hear on the other end of the phone oftentimes when you call 303 Law 4040. It's my lovely wife, Kimberly. Kim, I know you and I had so much fun the other day. We actually met with a couple that had been in an accident up north in their house the other day, and Randy was so excited. He's like, I can't believe it. It's the lovely wife. She's right here in my kitchen.
He's too kind. It was really great to meet him and his wife and his pets and just be able to help them.
I think it helps that when you answer the phone, when people call 303 Law 4040, it makes things, I know calling a lawyer can be scary, but I don't know, your soothing voice just makes it a little bit easier.
Well, I just want to help. That's all. And I know how to do that.
I love the holidays. I always like to wish our listeners happy holidays. Would you like to do so as well?
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful new year.
And I hope you never need us, but just in case, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
Hey, it's Mike Evans with Todd Whalen from Advanced Tax Solutions. Well, Todd, it couldn't last forever. The government shutdown is over. The IRS is back and ready to roll. What does that mean for folks who have an IRS bullseye painted on their back?
Well, Mike, we've seen this once before. They were completely closed during the pandemic. And what happened? They came out with their gloves on and started levying people. So now, if you have an IRS problem, it's way better if you can get a solution before you get the levy notice. You have more options, you have more time, we have the ability to do a better job. So if you're ready and it's time to get this IRS problem off your back, now's the time.
All right, Todd, I get it. The IRS is back. They mean business, but you know what? You mean business too. You've been doing this for a long time. You're ready to help folks out with all of their IRS tax issues. Give Advanced Tax Solutions a call today, 303-753-6040. That's 303-753-6040.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, it's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors. Enjoy holiday savings of 20% off your windows or siding project. That's right, premium craftsmanship, stunning curb appeal, and energy efficiency. Visit 5280exteriors.com today. The altitude of quality.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Bonnie from O'Meara Ford has convinced me they really want to earn your business. So, talk to me, Bonnie.
Well, O'Meara has over 1,000 vehicles to choose from. Plus, we have the largest service center in the region with 84 service bays. And we've sold 1 million vehicles since 1913. Our friendly staff will treat you right. And when it comes to repairs, our knowledgeable technicians do it right the first time.
There it is. O'Meara saves you time and money, whether you buy new or used. O'MearaFord.com.
Denver Sports Snapshot.
Tomorrow on 104.3 HD3, DU Hockey skates with Miami, pregame starting at 6:30. Saturday morning on 104.3 HD3, DU Women's Basketball faces Idaho with pregame starting at 11:30. On The Fan, home of the Colorado State Rams, CSU Basketball faces CU with pregame starting at 2:30.
One of Newsweek's best regional banks and credit unions. Learn more at wistaracu.com.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Broncos Raiders Sunday, and that is the objective. Find a way to win your 10th consecutive game and break a tie, or make it impossible for the Patriots.
Impossible to lose a tie.
Yes, impossible for the Patriots to break a tie, impossible for the Broncos to lose the tie. If they can get that last win over the Raiders and finalize the record against common opponents, I want to talk about the tale of the tape here between these two football teams here in about 12 seconds. Guys, we've teamed up with our friends at the Blue Sport Stable in Superior for our Denver Sports Equipment Drive benefiting Recruiting Classroom. Now through December 20th, we're asking donations of gently used or new sports equipment. Most needed items include hockey and ice skates, as well as hockey sticks, football helmets and pads, baseball bats, and lacrosse sticks. For drop-off locations and a full list of needed items, head to denversports.com/equipment. The stuff hanging around unused in your garage could go a long way to someone who needs it. Okay, that was a little bit longer than 12 seconds.
Nobody could have expected you to read that in 12 seconds. That's too much to ask of you.
I should have gave myself a little bit more time. All right, tail of the tape between these two teams, Broncos, Raiders, Sunday afternoon in Vegas. You take a look at both offenses. Broncos have the 14th ranked rush offense in the league. Obviously, there's context there. Formerly with J.K. Dobbins, last two games hasn't come close to this, but they're 14th in rushing yards. The Raiders are 32nd, dead last in rushing yards. Broncos are the 14th best passing offense in the NFL. The Raiders are 26th in passing offense. Advantage on the ground, Broncos. Advantage in the air, Broncos. Name of the game is the score. Broncos are 13th in scoring. Raiders are 31st in scoring. Advantage Broncos. So when it comes to offensively running it, passing it, and scoring it, it's Broncos, Broncos, Broncos. You take a look at the defense. Broncos stopping the run. They're 5th in the NFL. Raiders are 15th. Advantage Broncos. Stopping the pass. Broncos are 9th in the NFL. Raiders are 17th. Advantage Broncos. Name of the game is scoring, or in this case, stopping the other team from scoring. Broncos are 4th in scoring defense. Raiders are 26th in scoring defense. Everywhere you look up and down this matchup, Richie Carney filling in for Phillip Lindsay today, it's advantage Broncos to the point where I cannot find any sort of tangible measurement between these two football teams that says the Raiders are in any way better than Denver.
Not only are they not better than Denver in any way, Zach, of the offensive and defensive statistics that you just ran down, all of which ended with advantage Broncos, there's only one that's a single-digit margin of difference between the two. It's not just that they're better, they are markedly better in almost every respect when you're talking about major statistical categories offensively and defensively. And it sets up the parameter that we've had with previous Broncos conversations of there's really no way to point to on paper a reasonable reason why the Broncos should win this game unless they beat themselves doing it, which they almost did last time around.
I was going to say, it was within this last month that the Broncos were living on the edge in a 10-7 win against Vegas. But this is
the game that J.K. Dobbins got hurt in too, right? Wasn't that the hip drop tackle game?
Was that the game?
I thought that was I thought at the end of the game there, I think that was the last game that J.K. Dobbins played in.
You're right, because they've been missing him for 2 games, and that's Kansas City and Washington.
And they had no Marvin Mims, I don't think, in that game.
They had no Marvin Mims. That's when Michael Bandy muffed that punt or misplayed that punt. Bo Nix had multiple interceptions. It just...
More penalties than first downs.
More penalties than first downs. How could I forget? This is, just simply put, this is 10-2 against 2-10. It's 10-2 against 2-10. With that being said, and let me just give a prerequisite because someone's going to get offended or sensitive. We know the most important thing is for the Broncos to leave Vegas with a win, okay? But for you as a fan, and I'm talking to you, Richie, and I'm talking to you, whatever fan is listening to me out there, all right? Considering that every advantage on paper is Denver's, considering that we're talking about Super Bowl expectations, or Super Bowl ceiling, I should say, with this team, and simply put, again, it's 2-10 against 10-2. Should the Broncos not just win, but should they just be in control? Should it be a decisive win?
Yes, it should. It should because of everything that you laid out. And there's a part of me that wants to say that it almost needs to be because of what I think the Broncos still have left to prove in a sense this season. I think they've proven that as a team that they can claw back and fight their way into games. They've proven as an offense led by Bo Nix, who's some parts Josh Allen, some parts 2022 Russell Wilson, that it's not always pretty, but they find a way to get the job done and it's good enough, even if it's not as good as we want it to be. But what they haven't really proven yet, to themselves maybe, to us, to the rest of the NFL, is that they can just knock somebody out with one solid punch. They can go 12 rounds with anybody. They've shown that. But they haven't delivered a lot of knockout blows, and I think that that's contributing to the perception of them nationally. When you're looking at talking heads,
Sure.
other markets around the league, they might be the least feared number 1 seed in recent NFL history if they do secure that first round bye, because at every point that you look virtually throughout their schedule, they've looked beatable and they just found a way to make it happen in the end. That doesn't necessarily strike the fear that it could if their counterparts, the New England Patriots, like they've done, where they just get out in front of you and they don't let you off the mat like they did to the Raiders.
True. All right, well, we'll see how this unfolds. We'll do a full game preview tomorrow when Phil will be back in the fold, from what I understand. But you just mentioned something. You said they might be the least feared number 1 seed when you talk about talking heads or like people in other markets.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you said that.
I'm glad I did too.
Because wait until you hear what's being said on Boston radio when it comes to the Patriots, the Broncos, and the number 1 seed. That's next.
Have the Denver Broncos proven they're capable of making a deep playoff run?
If you can be successful in one-score games, if you can find ways to win different games, fourth quarter comebacks, overtime win, putting a complete game together, 60 minutes of offensive football, that's what the Broncos have done. They've shown us 5-6 different ways they can win a football game so that you get to yourself in a playoff scenario.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here. On behalf of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about how you're feeling on this Thursday. Seriously, how are you feeling? Do you wish it was Saturday because you're just absolutely done with this week? You're sluggish, you have low energy, your sleep patterns are off, you didn't make it to the gym this week, or maybe you did and you dragged yourself there, and then when you got there, it felt exactly just like that, a drag. And hopefully you're not putting on weight or feeling sad or depressed Believe it or not, these could all be symptoms of low testosterone, which does happen to us men as we age. You didn't do anything wrong. But I encourage you, go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com, take the low T quiz on their website. Simple 10-question quiz with yes or no answers. Takes you literally 2 minutes or less. But from there, you can schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They'll draw your blood. They'll have the results within 30 minutes. A Colorado licensed medical provider will review those results with you, discuss your options, and you'll make a decision together with their medical team. Cost of the appointment is only $99. That includes a medical consult, a T and PSA test. And if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is completely free. Fellas, we got one life to live. Don't spend yours wondering if you're suffering from low testosterone. Go take that low T quiz at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Happy holidays, Colorado. This is David Szymanski with U.S. Mortgages, and after 30 years, we could not be more thankful and grateful to this great state and all the people who have contacted us and trusted us for their loan needs. Remember to take time to reflect on what matters most this holiday season, like family, friends, and God. We are in such a blessed country, and we all have so much to be thankful for. So from all of us to all of you, thank you and happy holidays.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids are going to grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices are going to be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, no strings attached. So even though your kids will grow up and you still won't understand what 6-7 means, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
I know some people think after a car accident, do I really need a lawyer? Hiring Postman Law isn't only about the courtroom. We're your single point of contact in a complicated claims process. We take on the insurance adjusters, organize your medical bills, coordinate with doctors, and make sure nothing gets missed. Get the outcome you deserve without the headache. Call 844-POSTMAN. When other firms promise, Postman delivers.
Call 844-POSTMAN. Attorney Advertising.
You know that feeling when you catch a glimpse in the mirror and think, hey, I look 10 years younger. That's what happens when you stop dieting and start doing Soda weight loss.
I tried point counting, calorie counting, shots, and nothing has worked until Soda weight loss.
Soda weight loss gives you a personal nutritionist you can text anytime.
Everybody's great here. Everybody's encouraging. There were some times where I felt down and they brought me back up. If you stick with this program, you will lose weight and you will get to your goal weight.
When you sign up for Soda weight loss, your partner joins for free.
If you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and yes, look and feel 10 years younger, this is your moment. No meds, no gimmicks, just real results with real support.
Remember, sign up now and your partner joins for free. Visit sodaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins the drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, final segment here on a Thursday. You could reach out and touch the weekend. Fun show today. Different pace today with some of our conversations that we're having based on the Elway trailer that dropped today. Fun conversations. You know, who else in Colorado sports history deserves their own documentary? Before we get to this Boston radio, let me bounce that question off a friend of the show, the scrappy one, the Scrapster, Scrap Peterson. What up, Will?
What up, boys?
Who in Colorado sports history deserves their own documentary that doesn't currently have one?
Doesn't currently have one, because my mind goes to Joe Sakic, but obviously he had the one
The E60.
a couple years ago that was great.
The Red Wings and the bloodbath?
Exactly, but then there was the one about the trade that never happened to the Rangers.
That's right.
I forgot about that. That was really good as well. So Joe comes to mind for sure. But listen, man, and maybe it's been done, but I would want a true peek behind the scenes at the Peyton Manning free agency tour.
We mentioned that in the first half of the show,
because like it was news choppers following cars and stuff.
Hiding in bushes.
And then I was filling in for Mike Evans, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And you know Stokely, some days he just gets in moods. He wants to talk.
Mm-hmm.
He's just telling stories. He told stuff on these airwaves that I had never heard before. I don't think anyone had ever heard before about hosting Peyton and hiding him in back seats and this and that. And
sleeping on his couch.
Yeah, so obviously we've got a guy here at the station who, if they do pull the trigger on that, should be heavily featured in that documentary since he hosted Peyton Manning during that visit.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to that, you know, and I'd like to find out why didn't he pick Houston? Or another team that who was another team?
Tennessee was
Tennessee,
in it,
yeah,
where he played his college ball. Obviously,
yeah.
The Seahawks. You know, there was rumors about they were sitting at Centennial trying to wait for him.
That's right.
And he's like, "Nah, I'm not getting on the plane." Like,
he would not meet with them.
Come on, 90 minutes on that on Netflix? You kidding me? With all the key players?
That was the whole like John Elway played it cool, played it smooth. Everybody else was like jumping at it, and it was too antsy, and he. You know, he finessed it.
And the other thing, and this guy gets bagged on all the time, and he doesn't deserve to get his bagged on as much as he does, but I have it on record from multiple people that Joe Ellis was a major reason that Peyton Manning picked the Broncos as well.
Interesting.
No Chris McFarland documentary, Will? Hey, the Miko trade.
The Miko trade might be a documentary.
That could be a documentary.
Depending on how this
I was like,
ages.
there's no one else in the Avs front office besides Sakic that you might want to see?
So what are they saying on Boston Sports Radio? Okay. We have a couple sound bites from the show Felger and Maz on 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston. Okay. This is the dynamic that they were talking about earlier this week when it comes to the number one seed, home field advantage. Who would you rather play? Listen to this 57-second conversation.
Would you rather play Kansas City at home or have to go to Denver?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Kansas City at home. This is the first time ever of the Patrick Mahomes era that I can say I don't know about the Chiefs right now. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
We all know Patriots fans want to crap all over the Chiefs. So on the one hand, you want to say, ha, Kansas City sucks, 5-5. They're going to miss the playoffs. I respect Kansas City. I'd rather play them in Foxborough than Denver and Denver.
Oh, yes, totally.
I'm not coming at this from the Chiefs completely stink. Mahomes is done.
I'd rather face Denver and Foxborough than Kansas City and Foxborough.
Our whole lives, that stadium in Denver is a house of horrors, and even during the Brady heyday. So I don't want any part of that place. And that defense is ridiculous, and I want no part of it.
Think about what's best for the Patriots.
Right.
What's the best outcome?
Then the outcome yesterday was not good because you want to get the number one seed, and Denver winning the game hurts you a cause to do that.
Me and Richie talked about this earlier in the show, but I'm curious, as you eavesdrop, 1,700 miles away, what you think of that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Broncos have 3 very famous playoff wins against the Patriots here in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a 4th one in 1986 as well. So I believe the Patriots are 0-4 all time in playoff games in Old Mile High and New Mile High. Of course, the Champ Bailey 100-yard interception return to Tom Brady, and then the 2 AFC title games, 2013, 2015 with Peyton Manning. So I think Boston is cocky, arrogant. I think they puff their chests. They have reasons to puff their chests. They got the dang kid at the parade with the "I'm 12 years old and this is my 14th parade" sign or whatever. Like, that is a title town type city. But actually, to hear a minute of rational conversation, they understand that the Patriots don't win in Denver, and they don't win in Denver specifically in January. Tom Brady could have, 8 rings, 9 rings if he wins a couple AFC title games here. That Champ Bailey game was a divisional round game, but still, he had just won 3 Super Bowls. I believe that was Tom Brady's first ever playoff loss in his career that day. So, different teams, I get it, but same uniforms. And I understand if you're New England, we're talking a lot about the 1 seed here in Denver. I promise you, every single day, they're hammering how important that 1 seed is to their Patriots.
How about this one? This is Tony Maserati of Felger and Maz on 98.5 The Sports Hub with some pretty classic audio here.
If you are a Patriots fan and you were, in my mind, you were rooting for Kansas City to lose yesterday, I think you're an idiot. I think you've got to ass backwards. So what, the Chiefs suck, we hate the Chiefs, but you don't want to play them because you're afraid? So they can't suck that much. You're still scared of Patrick Mahomes coming in here and beating your ass in a playoff game. So you'd rather Denver win and go to Denver? I think that's asinine. Do you understand what the Patriots' record has been in Denver historically? Let's just stop at 2000 or 2001. The year Brady became a starter. The Patriots are 4-7 against the Broncos in 11 meetings against Denver. They've
86.
never won a playoff game in Denver. Never. Not once. Brady went in there 3 times and lost all 3. And you want to go in there with Drake May against one of the best defenses in the league? It's idiotic.
We had a lot of fun with that earlier today. I think it's freaking
Idiotic.
A slice of gold audio right there.
Oh, it's great. It's phenomenal. I mean, Brady lost, 12, 13 playoff games in his entire career, and 3 of them are in Denver against the Broncos. You can tell they're still scarred by that. This was the place Tom could never come win in the postseason. And the host points it out. Great. Tom couldn't win there. You think Drake can go win there? Not yet. Not yet.
All right, man. Fun 4 hours. Flew by. Appreciate Richie filling in for Mr. Phillip Lindsay. Phil will, we believe, will be back tomorrow and hopefully feeling better. Appreciate Dante Gomez and Drew Spivak behind the glass. 4-0 in trivia.
Bang.
4-0. Love it. All right. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It is Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
Is Alex Singleton playing his way toward Broncos immortality?
He signed a 1-year, $1 million contract, and then all he does is goes on to set the single-season tackle record, and then he blows out his ACL. He comes all the way back, gets flagged for cancer, and then 23 days later, he's back making big plays for the Broncos? This guy is a legend in my book. He is becoming a Denver Broncos legend.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
What is going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And guys, I know there's at least 50 of you listening right now who are thinking about popping that question, and you know you need a diamond. So I'm going to save you time and money right now by telling you this. You need to go see my jeweler, Williams Jewelers, for that perfect diamond engagement ring, the ultimate holiday gift, or hey, just because that special somebody really deserves it. This holiday, imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their surface is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, and the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, but they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to let them know that Phillip Lindsay sent you when you step through one of those doors.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Hey guys, boy Stink here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. If you find yourself in a car accident, do not tell the insurance company you are fine. They will hold that against you even if you end up with medical bills 3 months later. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law.
Hey guys, it's Zach By here. This holiday season, give your home the gift of beauty and comfort with 50-80 Exteriors. For a limited time, enjoy 20% off your windows or siding project. That's right, premium craftsmanship, stunning curb appeal, and energy efficiency. All at a holiday savings you can't miss. Call 50-80 Exteriors.